All right. We're live. Hey, welcome. We have a doozy here. As you can see on your screen, there are many anime and manga. And if you scroll up higher, there's a tier list. So you know where this is going.
This episode is brought to you by Crucible.
Is that the video game?
It's over on the right side, I guess.
Oh, shit. Probably gonna cut that out. I'm gonna zoom in.
Amazon Games. Look at that. Hunt, level, adapt.
It is cool that Amazon Games is kicking off, but
Yeah.
we have every manga and anime that the four of us have watched.
Mostly.
The four of us being Willer, Joe, Bradley, and Tyler.
But not Tyler, Willer, Bradley, and Joe.
I see some
That was Joe.
idol-looking shit in there. Is that Idolmaster or something?
I don't know, Bradley. It's probably yours.
I've watched a lot of harem anime, so
All right.
Okay, because I sometimes we might forget what the images are, so I also have all the files that I begrudgingly got with the names.
Cool.
So
Hopefully everybody,
super
if
prepared.
someone's seen a thing, hopefully they can recognize it by the
all
end.
right. So
Before we
I have
start,
a question.
hold on.
question.
Okay, your
Okay.
question first.
So here's the thing: are we basing this solely off of the anime, or the manga, or like the primary source of which we've?
You're basing this on its most enjoyable format, in your opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
And it might be different for someone. Like, but for Bradley, he will judge Hunter x Hunter based on the manga, and I will judge it based on the anime, because that's what we enjoyed the most between the two.
And we will judge it based One Piece off of the manga, and we won't talk about the anime.
Well, actually, I mean, Tyler can definitely
sure.
talk about it, because most of his time with One Piece was with the anime.
Did you put Wind Rises on here?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
Got
Oh
the
man,
dollar.
I have a controversial opinion on that movie.
Well, we'll save it. Okay, so before we start, I have a plot twist. I think you guys are far too kind in these tier lists that we've made. I want to get some blood today. That's why, first of all, we all have argument juice, trademark, or fighting juice, whatever you want to name it.
What is this, heaven? Made in heaven tier?
Top
three.
five.
Top five?
Top,
Okay,
How about top 4?
top 8, top 10 maybe? No.
Top 10.
How many?
I
how many
think
elements are
top
there?
10...
Top 5, right?
If we do top 12, it's 3 for each of us.
No, but I want blood.
That's too many. for each.
I want
Then
blood.
do 5. The 5.
6.
It's 5.
Weird number, but
5.
5. But
Five.
there is
That gives each of us one, and then like an extra one.
yeah.
Yeah.
In theory.
So there is an S tier. So like this is still like these are still part of the S tier, mind you, but they are the top 5. And
I want to change that color to blue.
to be honest, if your favorite isn't in the top 5, then it doesn't exist. Just saying. So the way we're gonna do it, we might not do this in one section. It depends on our energy levels. I don't want us to get tired and not argue. I want blood. So we're gonna go through maybe half of it, put like some of a timer. We might have to come back another night with a second round of argument juice and a second round of arguments.
Yeah.
But that's weird. Why 7 Deadly Sins first? I'm thinking I'm gonna go like alternating from first to last, and then we're gonna whittle it down. That way, JoJo's is in the middle, and we can all fight and cry over JoJo's together.
Yeah.
But I guess we're starting with 7 Deadly Sins. Which
That's
is,
really, if there was ever a series to start with.
I'm gonna put 7 Deadly Sins in the C tier.
wow.
All right.
I really like the first season of this show. Everything after it has not been good. in my
That is
opinion.
true.
Everyone make sure to dislike and unsubscribe.
Oh, this video is gonna have a fat dislike bar, dude. It's
Oh,
gonna
dude,
be,
you just know.
be sick. Gonna be
I'm
like
gonna-
a YouTube apology video.
I would put so like I think I've read a little bit of the manga and I've seen all 3 seasons, including like the one that's not even out on Netflix yet. This show just straight up does get kind of worse as you move along it. But the Netflix the Netflix dub, which is like the main source of content from 7 Deadly Sins, has a nice little charming voice cast.
It does. It has a really good dub. I really enjoyed it.
I would rate it very low B. It's not terrible. There's not like even the animation is pretty nice. There's a little bit of world building. There's a fun little cast of characters that have pretty cool powers. Like the power in like magic in the world is pretty cool, kind of unique, kind of.
I've heard good things about it, but I can never get past the first season. So
And that's okay.
The way we do
That's
this, the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna average out the people who can properly vote. However, if only one person has seen something, they're gonna have to make a big argument to get it past B tier. I think that's
Yeah.
you're gonna have to really convince us that in our averaged out list, your favorite should go past B tier, and then even further in A and God for if you're alone arguing in the top 5, you got a hard road ahead of you. So
I think we all already have in mind what we're going to try and argue to put up there.
I know.
So we'll see. I don't know yet. There's a couple I could. So that seems like it averages out to a high C.
Yeah.
So because I can't get past the first season and I've tried 3 times, maybe that is indicative of the show in a way as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, like it kind of sucks because the season after it in Netflix was just 3 OVAs they made, and they advertised it as season 2, and that also kind of stung with a lot of people.
So next up, these I added after the fact. Oh, where's Bobobo?
Oh,
Rosario Vampire.
Did I not add Bobobo?
I saw you add it, but
There it is. Okay. These are
Yeah.
late. Rosario Vampire Joe. What the fuck is this?
So
Yo, what's
this
going on?
is a
What's going on?
harem.
I'm not placing in D. Hold on.
I mean, you should.
We might need an E tier actually.
oh fuck. Yeah. We need something. We need something way down there. You
call it
know?
the trash bin.
And this will
Change
be
that shit to purple.
We need an F for Nagatoro.
That's gray. Bradley, you are not going to put Nagatoro in F.
I'm not. Well, I mean, I don't think it's a good manga. I just enjoy reading it.
Then it's good to you,
All right.
man. Whatever. Okay.
Oh,
So
I enjoy it. That doesn't mean I
Rosario
think it's good.
Vampire Joe. Where's it go?
Okay, so has anyone watched this before? Or read
Absolutely
it?
not.
Nope.
Okay, so like it's essentially a classic harem anime, but it's basically like guy goes to a monster school. Everyone's just like a vampire, werewolf, witch, that kind of stuff. The problem with this manga is that near the end of it, it just becomes a battle shonen manga for like no reason other than out of boredom.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that as a solid D.
All right. No arguments.
Yeah.
You don't have so for these that you're not super passionate of. Brevity is good. We don't want to be here
Yeah.
for too long.
I
I don't know what this is. Hold on.
I think that's a certain scientific railgun, which I put on there.
Yes. Okay. I have for viewers. I have a list of everything. I think I brought that up earlier. Okay. What is a certain
there's
scientific
so
railgun?
many.
So I read about 7 volumes of this back
Okay.
kind of in my more weeby years back in high school. The premise is, nothing super out there for anime. There's a city, there's a bunch of people with psychic powers. They go to a school to fucking use their powers, whatever. The main character is a cute girl, and it's kind of a One Punch Man situation where she is like objectively the strongest person. And it's funny because this series is paired with another series called A Certain Magical Index. And the main character of Magical Index will constantly try to come fight the main character of this manga.
That's cool.
The other way around.
cool.
She'll try to fight him because he's like the only person she wouldn't be able to destroy in one hit.
Are they by the same author, or is this like a
They
crossover?
are. They're,
Okay.
they're like, it's really weird where they're both their own series, but they're both set in the same universe and they constantly cross over.
That's really cool.
So I did remember enjoying it pretty well. It had some really cool powers, and I thought they were used very cleverly. Some really good fights. Really liked the art. It wasn't. It wasn't enough for me to keep reading it past like volume 7. So I'd be healthy putting it in somewhere in C tier, like not low C. I feel like that'd be an injustice, but like somewhere mid to high C tier. I did enjoy it, just didn't go super far with it.
All right. Okay. I'll let that slide. Next up, we have Summer Wars, which only you three. So you three have seen
The movie.
This goes in A tier for sure.
A
at least.
tier, Joe.
this.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Y'all didn't.
I mean,
you
I
didn't seem
was
that passionate.
also going to say like maybe low to mid A tier, but I wanted to see what they said first.
I think A tier. This movie is fantastic with its theming. It's like kind of world building with the internet. It's basically just Ready Player One with its internet system, but it doesn't. It's not stupid.
Yes. Say no more, Chief.
Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing how much they were able to make this family feel like real people in the amount of time that they did.
Yeah.
Tyler?
And all the logic that the show presents in itself, it has answers for all of like its weird show logic.
That's cool.
And it doesn't make you question like, oh, how did they do this? Or what would they have done if it would have done that? It's like, oh, this happened because of this, this, and this. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. That you had an answer.
Seems well thought
And
out. So
dude,
you agree with A?
the animation, by the way, is just fucking amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It has two like distinct art styles throughout the show because there's the real world and then the digital world.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, do you agree
Oh.
with the A?
I would throw it an A, yeah.
I think it's an A tier contender.
I mean,
Absolutely.
this is 3v1. I have no horse. I'll have to trust you.
Yeah.
I think if you've watched anime before and you haven't seen this movie, I think you should watch it because it's a great anime movie, just a good movie in general.
Oh, yeah.
If you've seen Digimon the movie, this is the evolved evolution final form.
This is the Digimon movie, Digivolve 2, Summer War Mon.
It's true.
Ace Attorney.
Yeah, how's the anime compared to the games?
I'm so hurt that you would ask me this question.
Well, I gotta know.
It's so bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I am so disappointed in this anime. It's just like an objectively inferior way to experience the games.
Yeah.
No one should watch this as a substitute. It's way too fast. The animation is not good. Like, there's nothing really amazing. The art style is not good. Like,
You know what?
You're missing out so
If you-
much of the story.
If
I'd
you wanna
say
watch-
D.
If you want to watch Ace Attorney, you should watch the Ace Attorney live action movie because that one's actually fun.
Or watch a Let's Play. Like, anything
Yeah.
but this. It's just not
And like,
adequate.
I guess part of the medium, like a big part of playing the game would be, kind of feeling like, oh, I helped solve this case, but with the anime, it's like, oh, I watched the dude solve the case.
Because of the pacing, you don't even get time when you're watching to try to solve the case.
Man.
Like, if you're watching a Let's Play, in the back of your mind, while they're going through dialogue, you can think about the case. Like, that's not present here. Joe, I would give this a fat D. The only reason why it's not is
Whoa.
because, like,
Are we just going off the anime?
yes.
Then yeah, just give it a fat D.
Damn. Okay, but the games though.
The game.
In fact-
I mean, I love the games. That's why I hate this so much.
Oh yeah.
What if they did like the anime like Harvey Birdman style?
Where it's just cut. It's
Like
just
a,
cut
a
up.
full comedy parody.
Yeah.
That'd be something different, at least. You know what? That'd be better.
Oh gosh.
So this is Your Name. Have y'all seen Your Name?
No.
It's supposed to be really sad, right?
Okay,
It's supposed to be really good.
I'm the
Who put
only
this
one-
on here?
Me. I've seen it.
Okay.
It's a really good anime movie. I'm gonna keep my argument points for later, and I'm just gonna throw it in B.
I feel you.
It's
Alex
really
praises this show and he's like, "Oh, it's so good." I'm like, Alex,
It's a movie, and it is
Yeah.
pretty good.
like I straight up ask him, I go, "What's a good anime, Alex?" And he goes, "Oh, what is it? Your Lie in April?
No, Your Name. This is
Your
different.
Name?" Yeah, he says.
Although we
Your
should have
Name.
put Your Lie in April in there, but we forgot, I think.
If y'all seen that, but too late. We're rolling.
Yeah.
The base premise of this is a body switching romance story, but there's a really good twist with it around the midpoint of the movie. But there's also some stuff where it's like, why is this even happening? And it's just like, oh, it magic, whatever. Don't think about it.
Don't worry about it.
Freaky Friday.
Don't worry. Agretzko. Who's seen Agretzko here?
I have.
Me
I've
too.
seen bits.
It's very cute.
I think Agretzko should be up in A tier.
I think
That's my opinion.
Agretzko is low A, personally.
I wouldn't even argue with that. Like, I've seen clips and it's very cute, and everyone I know who's watched it has just been like, it's just a good time to watch.
It's definitely not S tier.
Yeah.
Like, there's a clear line between... it's not... For me, it's not a contender at all. But it is
I
a
think-
very strong A tier.
The thing about Agretzko, I feel like, is that it does a really good job of showing the feeling of what it's like to work as a intern or like someone that just got into the work environment and feels like they're stuck there and can't make like
Dead-end
any
job.
headway in their career. But there's not a lot of character development in the show, I feel. Like it's
Plus,
just
her boyfriend in season 1's insufferable. I actually haven't seen season 2. I gotta do that.
yeah.
The thing with Agretzko is I don't know what it's like to be in this kind of work environment with like
Fair.
the super shit boss and the dead end job. Like I've had like not great bosses here and there, but like this is on a different, like this is the blue collar nightmare TV show with a cute red panda.
Yeah.
And I can't quite relate, but it's really good. Yu-Gi-Oh! So
Yo.
because
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! is the only case here where I didn't break it up into multiple parts.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
And that's because like we've all seen bits and pieces and played like the story modes of different storyline. Like I'm just gonna lump all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Into one for this one.
Let's just go with part 1.
No, because
Yeah.
GX and
But
5Ds
5Ds is good, though.
is worth. Yeah, it's
I love
definitely worth
5Ds,
mentioning.
though.
5Ds is good.
I read some of the manga for Link when I had my Shonen Jump subscriptions, and I got like the digital magazines, and the Link series was on there too, and like they were in space dueling, so whatever. I think it's a strong B.
Yeah.
I could agree with that, and I really feel like the anime is what brings it down to a B.
Well, yeah, the manga has some cool stuff. In
The
beginning.
manga is batshit crazy.
Yeah, they were scared.
I almost
they were
spit
scared.
my argument juice everywhere.
And, like it's got to be at least high B because like Yu-Gi-Oh, it's cultural impact, man. Like Yu-Gi-Oh has stood the test of time. I think as far as like there's still fucking Yu-Gi-Oh merch everywhere. You
Yeah.
know,
I think above everything, Seto Kaiba is such a good character for me.
he's
like,
a good rival. That is how
he's-
that is how you do a fucking rival,
He's
dude.
such a lovable shit, and like he's such a
Oh, yeah.
standout. And Joey's really likable. I really like the Yugi Yami dynamic, and like the finale of the series where they have to duel each other. Like, there's some stuff there, man. That's really cool.
Oh yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh's not bad at all.
yeah, it's a good. It's good.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge is also really
Yu-Gi-Oh
fun.
Bridge, very good. The first like big abridge, as I can recall.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings us back. What is this?
I don't know
What is that?
What is?
Oh, that's a Magi Brilliant Park. I
Okay.
know. Like,
Ah.
for dancing.
Oh
girls.
yeah, this is your theme park one, right?
Oh,
Where's this
man.
going, Joe?
Oh God, I would actually put this in B tier. I personally give it an A, because of self gratification for me. But what this show is about is basically this kid gets hired to run this amusement park in high school. I think he's like a business major, or he's going to be, and it's a reverse isekai where. Yeah, so the entire fantasy world escapes from the collapse of their like
Oh.
world, and they exist in this amusement park, and they run off the happiness of people that they can make happy when they come to the amusement park to like keep like everything going. But they can't make any money, so they bring this kid in to like make money for the amusement park within the summer. It's really short. It's like 12 episodes. It's a nice little heartfelt show to like watch and everything. It makes me really cozy on the inside whenever I watched it.
Nice.
Yeah.
No argument points will be spent.
I can't give it an A because it's an isekai.
Yeah. Even if it's a reverse, still counts.
Yeah. But like I just think it was a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of theme parks, and I thought like the kid goes through these like strategies of, like, all right, here's how we have to do our marketing. Here's like it's kind of almost like a non-battle anime where like he has to try to figure out how to overcome all these like different like challenges of the amusement park that it's facing.
Next up, we have We Never Learn. I think only me and Joe have
Oh.
experience. I'm way further than Joe.
Blonde girl's the best.
42 chapters in.
That's pretty fast. You're going through that pretty quick.
A tier.
yeah,
These
started
girls
2
are
days
very
ago.
cute.
I would give it a strong B.
I would
Not even A?
too.
I
No,
No.
because harem anime and isekai anime are on the same level of trash.
Okay.
I mean, this
So
is
it's
a
hard.
good one.
I mean, yeah,
It
high
is
B's
good.
good. It's like yeah, you know.
I'd put it below Yu-Gi-Oh personally, but what's really good about We Never Learn is that the comedy is really funny actually, and the 5 girls that you have to choose from are all distinctly likable in their own way. And the main character actually, especially later on in the series, I think he really stands out as a harem. He's still like the idiot harem protagonist, but
there are definitely times where like
he's really best girl because like
Yeah.
he's so hardworking and selfless, but like not in a overly cheesy way. I just think he's really likable. Fumino in the left is best girl, by the way, just so you know.
No. It's Swim Girl on the right.
All right.
Takimoto.
And without spoiling anything, I've heard kind of how the series is steering itself for the finale, and I think it's very ambitious. And I don't know of any manga that's ever kind of done what We Never Learn is preparing.
I'm sure
to do.
there's plenty, but we should have prefaced by saying this: we don't watch that much manga and anime, despite the 100 entrants on this list.
Yeah.
Compared to like hardcore anime watchers, I think we're definitely on the lower spectrum.
Like I had to strain to find some more entries for this list.
Yeah. But like as far as the ones I've seen, the ending of We Never Learn, which I haven't gone through, but I know what it is really cool, and I think it'll please.
Well, it's
everyone.
still ongoing, isn't it?
I think it's close to ending. Like really.
I think it's wrapping
It's
up.
ending. Okay, cool. Trigun.
No.
Or no.
What is this?
That's Angel
Angel
Beats.
Beats? Dude, this seems like trash. From
So yeah, I watched this back in high school. The nice thing I'll say about it, two nice things I'll say about it. I do enjoy the art style. I think it does have really good music for a show called Angel Beats. It has good music.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. There's three possibilities that happen whenever you come out of kind of any work of art, whether it's a movie, manga, anime, TV show, game, whatever. Possibility one is you come out saying, hey, this is really good, and here's why I liked it, here's why I think it's good. Possibility two is like, hey, this is fucking trash, and here's the points I don't like about it. Those are talking points you can discuss with people. Angel Beats, I didn't dislike it, but I just don't know what I could say about it, and to me that feels worse than disliking something.
Wow.
I remember I sat down and I watched the show, and there was nothing for me to think back on. I was just like, oh, I mean, yeah, that was a show.
Which is weird. Because it's like about afterlife and stuff, right? Like, there's a lot you could say with a supernatural story like this, I feel like.
There really is.
And they don't say it.
I think there are other stories that have played that angle better. I would put it in... And here's the thing, it's very beloved by everybody else I know who's seen it, so this is going to hurt, but I'm going to put it in D tier.
I know our friend Circuit. I'm going to put it in D above it, just for...
But the music is really fucking good. I love the opening sequence. I love the ending theme. They're great.
Gotcha. Well, there you go. Post your angry comments below. Trigun. Okay.
Ooh.
This is going to be an interesting one.
Trigun is my classic 90s anime. Like, whenever I don't think of Dragon Ball Z or Cowboy Bebop first. Like, I think of Trigun.
Me too.
I really like the characters in this show. They seem even, like, approachable, even in this day and age, like, compared to, like, characters we get now. There's nothing too zany about them. I don't know. Like, they just still seem iconic even today. It's got a great overarching plot. It's got a little bit of mystery around it. Oh, the world. Like, everything is just this big desert in, like, post-apocalypse, but everybody's, like, got robots and, like, cybernetics and stuff.
It's like a futuristic Wild West planet, and that's kind of the setting.
Yeah.
I feel like I've watched this or read this before, or at least some of it in Shonen Jump when I would get subscribed.
It's not a Shonen Jump at all.
I feel like
okay.
I feel like manga and anime needs a little bit more Wild West inspired stuff, because like I remember we were looking through old Shonen Jump magazine covers, and there used to be way more Wild West stuff, and now there's not really. Which is why when I read Steel Ball Run, I was like, "Wow, this feels so unique within the world of manga to me, just because it's Wild West."
And it wasn't even Shonen Jump; it was Ultra Jump.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. My experience with Trigun is I watched so much of Trigun in Brazil at night, but it was so as a child, but it's so disjointed that I only remember the emotions it evoked, and it evoked this cool world where Vash was a pacifist who's all about peace and love, but he's a really good gunman. There was what's his name?
Vash
Tyler?
the Stampede.
No, the opponent with the cross.
Oh,
Is it Miles Knive or is that the Cowboy Bebop guy?
No, Cowboy Bebop is vicious.
Yeah. Okay. So I believe
Nicholas
it was
B.
Miles.
Wolfwood.
Okay, never mind. Not even close. Anyways, I remember that guy being really cool with his cross weapon. I had good vibes and I have good memories.
Yeah.
And I should watch
He's got
it.
this giant cross cannon that he like shoots with, and it's got like this. He like holds it at the center point of the entire weapon.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's cool.
What a great
Where would
character.
you place this, Tyler?
I would put it in high A. Trigun's a classic.
Ooh,
I would
Because I
say
don't
it
remember-
had a
I
nice
can't-
cultural impact.
I can't co-sign your high A
That's
because I don't
okay.
remember it enough, but I can co-sign a low A.
I can go with a low A.
And that's
I would argue nothing lower than A though.
fair.
Y'all know what? What would be really funny? I'm not gonna do this because it sounds like a lot of work, but I want someone to find out which of the starter Pokemon we argued about for the longest is, and then find the anime we argue about for the longest, and see if we talked about a starter Pokemon longer than an anime.
We going too long, Bradley? Is this you're
No,
I know. Like, I think
we're
it'd be
doing
funny
fine.
No,
to
that would
see
be
how much
funny.
longer we can talk about Squirtle than fucking like.
You know, we talked about Ivysaur longer than I think we should have.
Yeah. we
Ass
did.
class
S.
S.
Hey, one of the main antagonists was Millions Knives.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Tyler,
Yeah.
you got co-sign our S with us.
Oh, S, easy.
Baby.
I can't argue with three S
Bradley.
votes.
You can't. Unfortunately,
Please.
by the rules, you cannot argue with that.
I can't argue with three S votes. But even then, like having not read it, everything like Willers told me about this Koro Sensei
Yeah.
sounds like supremely interesting.
One thing about this show or this manga is that it pulls a Will of P every once in a while with some of its characters.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like this manga like perfectly wraps itself up and knows exactly what it's trying to like tell in its story.
S tier ending. Fantastic arcs like the summer vacation one and the teacher, like the bad teacher arc.
Yeah.
That's when the show really kicks off. There's also later on the twist with that one female character. There's some cool shit in this.
Yeah.
I really like the main characters of Nagisa, Koro Sensei, and Karma.
Looking back, like the way that they handled that character, the main character, and the way that like Koro Sensei like deals with that character, is really cool
Yeah.
because it's like, yeah. Imagine if imagine if Guts had a therapy session. That's kind of what happens with the main character.
I'll imagine that.
I don't think that's fair to say at all. Guts has gone through a lot.
Yeah,
Known Guts expert.
Tyler, I think it's you, but someone's like dragging something on their table and it's really
Oh, that's
getting
me.
picked up.
That's probably
Please fucking stop, Joe. All right. Toriko. I think I'm the only Toriko boy here, right?
Everybody buy Toriko.
Wow. So Toriko
Wow.
is
what a reference.
That's a good one. Toriko is this high action, blood pumping, incredible battle shonen based around food chefs and food hunters. Toriko being a food hunter paired up with his like tiny little boyfriend, food chef. And the action in this show and the exploration is super good. And it builds up to this amazing arc where there's 4 characters, Toriko, Coco, Zebra, and Sunny, I think. And they're like the 4 heavenly kings, and they're like the strongest food hunters, and like they're gonna go explore the new world in One Piece or the Dark Continent in Hunter x Hunter, like but of food. And it's like, oh, this is the hypest shit ever. And then they go there, and the series fucking gets bad. It was so disappointing, man.
The fact that this series had the honor of getting a crossover special with One Piece and Dragon Ball Z, which are kings of shonen, should tell you like how much clout this thing has to throw around.
It had
You know?
clout.
It had clout.
I really dislike where it goes.
There you go.
But how good was that beginning, man? There's a part where Toriko's hand gets blown off, but he uses the nub and the bone to keep punching the opponent harder. It's like the hardest, coolest shit.
Do you recommend people to like read it up until right before they go and just stop and be like everyone died on the way
I
there?
recommend people read it to. There's this arc that takes place in this ice environment, and I think anyone who's interested in Battle Shonen should read up to that point and see if you like it. That's my recommendation. I'm leaning between high C and low B. I'm gonna put it. I feel like it fits nicely next to Seven Deadly Sins, from what I know. So I'm gonna put it in high C.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
What are we cooking with here?
What is this?
This is a romance manga that I read way back my freshman
Town
year
Where
of.
You Live.
Yeah, call it Town Where You Live. The premise of this is essentially a girl moves to the countryside to go to high school, and he moves in with this boy and his family. And then it's just a big romance about him liking this girl, another girl, and then end up liking this girl, and then chasing after this girl back to her hometown in Tokyo.
It's everything you hate about romance manga.
It is. But I really liked it when I was a freshman. I was rereading it a year ago, and then the website that I was reading on just like would not show me more chapters for some reason. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna stop this. But what I really liked about this manga was that it literally went through all the stages from high school to him being postgraduate adult with a career, like what his life was like in the romances of each phase of that life. So it really showed how he grew as a character, like as a great character growth arc and everything. I would honestly put it down like at bottom B tier.
No.
In terms, no. Willer's read like the first like 50 or so chapters.
I've read like 80 chapters of this shit. This is the meanest thing Joe has ever done to me.
Yeah.
Was making me read this. Here's the thing. Because I haven't finished it, I haven't gotten that payoff. So
right.
hold on. We don't want to go for too long, so let me do my piece.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that payoff, and that might make everything worth it. But what I have gone through is some of the most frustrating, like, oh, the timing wasn't right, or I don't want to admit this, or I don't want to say that, and I don't want to be near her, and it is such bullshit, Joe. Because I love you, we're going to put this in C. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I will. It's like I will say, like once you hit chapter 100, there's a big like tonal shift that kind of is like, oh, okay, and some things happen that as a reader I just thought we're not going to be happy, because at this point when I was reading this, I had read like 2 or 3 other romance mangas and harem mangas, so it's like, oh, I know where this is going, and then it just kind of took a left turn slightly. I was like, oh, all right, I don't know what this is.
This is Toradora.
Hold on, I plan on going back to this one day to get to chapter 100. But yeah, Toradora.
Toradora is a interesting little high school romance story between a guy who looks very intimidating and scary and mean, but he is actually very nice, timid, and has a heart of gold. And the other half of this romance is a girl who is very small and cute, but is
worst girl.
the opposite of that. She's very intense. They live in buildings next to each other. They both have home lives that are not the best, and they find solace in each other. I really enjoyed it because I found all of the girls in the story very cute, and I will admit there were some of the romantic moments that really made my heart warm. And this is a very popular series among high school romance stories, is what I understand. I'd be cool putting it in low C.
Tyler?
I enjoyed it. I did read the whole thing, so
I confirm low C. I watched the anime.
yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen it, so I don't. All I know about this is that it awakened every tsundere lover out there.
I think you are correct.
Damn.
Oh boy! All right.
boy.
Oh boy! Okay.
Man.
Oh yeah. So
It's happening.
On Joe.
It's happening.
hold on. Let me give you the structure of how top 5 is gonna work. We're going to put top 5 contenders in there, and later in the list we'll start shedding them down to S tier. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to make the argument that Attack on Titan is top 5, and I hope I get the cosign from my boy Tyler.
this show has higher rated episodes than Breaking Bad on IMDb.
And they're not even wrong about it. Like, I mean, nothing beats Ozymandias, but also Hero and Morning Sun, god tier episodes. Perfect Game. Woo! I think season 2 and 3 of Attack on Titan are fucking S tier. I know Joe doesn't like season 2, so I think Joe's gonna be the villain of this argument. So go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, for Attack on Titan, like, I watched all of season 1. I was like, oh man, this is a lot of fun. I'm gonna read the manga, and I read the manga. And to me, when I was reading it, it just felt like more and more of just piling on like mysteries, and I was just like, I don't. Like, you need a good balance. Like, One Piece has a really good balance of like introducing something and then paying it off later and feeling like I'm not wasting my time.
I have a very similar point to Joe's, actually.
Yeah, but
Bradley,
like, here's the thing.
How far have you gotten?
The thing is, I haven't gotten very far, and that's part of my problem. Is that I'm also gonna give a One Piece comparison where. These are both series where you have very long-running plot threads and mysteries that eventually pay off in the end that people go nuts for. The difference to me is that even very early on in one, like, if you want people to stick around for the payoffs of these mysteries, people need to be aware that those mysteries exist. And I feel like One Piece sets up more of these mysteries earlier on, because I hear about these amazing, long-running plot threads in Attack on Titan, and then I watch a few episodes of it, and I don't feel like it's setting up for anything.
I think the way it works is mid-season 1, the mysteries start being laid. But to argue with Joe here, the way Attack on Titan does it is it'll give you a mystery, reveal layer 1 of that mystery, but introduce layer 2 and 3 of the same mystery. And then it'll
that's also really frustrating.
And then it'll introduce layer 1 of mystery 2, but then also introduce layer 2 of mystery 2, and then it'll just layer on your understanding of the world. I think it's fantastic mystery storytelling. And I think by season 3, and by the end of season 3, your whole understanding of the show flips, and it's fan-fucking-tastic, and season 3 is the best season of any anime I've ever watched, and it's not even close.
I will not argue with putting Attack on Titan at least an S. Mm-hmm. But later on, we'll have to really think about top 5.
The other thing,
Attack on Titan's a fucking phenomenon. Everybody I know, except for like me, so far, like from episode 1, they're like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. The other thing too is that
I'm not super hot on season 1 myself personally. But.
Yeah. So here's the other thing is that like I primarily did Attack on Titan through the manga. Like I literally went like month or week to week. Yeah. So like that's why my note's so sour to it, was just because it felt like it wasn't. It's not. I don't feel like it's very well paced in the manga, but I do think season 2 is because I've read at least all of season 2 stuff, and I think it's much more better paced in season 2 than was in the manga.
Me and Tyler are anime boys for this in particular, and I think that is the way to watch it personally.
I think so too, because there's one like S tier, like triple S tier moment in that show. And Aaron is having a conversation with 2 people in the background. It's the most mind-blowing thing in the world.
It's, oh my god. And then one of them is just like, oh, are we doing this literally right now, mid-episode, mid-conversation?
I remember reading that. I was like, what the fuck? It's like...
Tyler. What do you got anything? I mean, we'll talk about it later, I'm sure, but...
I'm going to say... Attack on Titan's pretty high IQ to enjoy it.
To be fair.
Y'all have said everything. I don't think the mysteries are that complicated. I think if you pay attention to the show, a lot of it gets set up, and it's got like one of those vibes like One Piece has. Like after every episode, you want to sit there and kind of theorize, like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
And what's nice, and what's nice is that it's explained. Like your theorizing is awarded.
Mm-hmm. It rewards thought input into it, and it's a show that makes people talk about it, and I think that's all you need.
I also think sorry, go ahead.
The anime, like the voice acting in that show is also really, really good. The I forget what his name is, but he's in season 2. He's leading the charge against the colossal titan.
Is it
and-
Erwin?
Not Erwin. It's the other one. He's the other blonde one. He's
the blonde guy.
Jotaro's voice actor.
Erwin.
Is it Erwin? Yeah, sorry. Yes, Erwin. Yeah.
Susume! Oh,
Whoa!
that motherfucker. There's a scene in season 3 involving a syringe, and it's one of the best scenes I've seen in anything, and anyone who's watched it knows. And the episode before that, even better. Okay, let's move on to Tokyo Ghoul. Who's watched this?
Tokyo Ghoul.
That's you, Bradley?
I don't know about it.
I threw Tokyo Ghoul on there. It's been a while since I've watched it. Season 1 wasn't that terrible. Like, this is I think one of those like anime/manga that a lot of people really enjoy.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
I'm pretty sure it's still going as well, if I'm correct.
I thought it wrapped up. I thought
it may have, but I liked season 1. Everybody was like, "Oh, you shouldn't watch season 2." It's really like you see this power struggle in the main character the entire first season because people become like demons and they are like monsters, and then they like have to feed on human flesh. They're like vampires a little bit. And it's this like secret yakuza under society thing of people.
Where's it going, Tyler?
I'd put it honestly in a C, right there near Seven Deadly Sins.
That's a hot opinion because I know people love this show.
Yeah,
people do, and it's not like Attack on like Seven Deadly Sins. It's not bad, but I feel like the more it drags on, you can have differing opinions.
C is like below average, but not bad. B would be probably average, you know.
C, I would say C. The subtitle is not bad.
Not bad. This
I
is
would
the
go with
official Roundabout
specific.
Cast. This is the official Roundabout Cast stance on Tokyo Ghoul. We all agree. We're forced to. That's what
Sorry, it's not personally for me, and this is only based off the anime too. So if the manga's way better, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm willing to accept that.
What is Bigata HK, Joe, and where does it go on this tier list?
Small story. Freshman year of college, come home. It's like, I want to watch some anime. What the fuck is this on Netflix? This show is about a girl who wants to have sex with 100 guys.
That's right. I heard about that.
Cool premise, I guess.
But she's a virgin in high school, so she needs to find the first person she has sex with. And she's just like, and her thinking is like, I need to find the most plainest boy possible, so that way everyone else is just up from there.
Oh, wow. I get it. So all the self-insert boys can be like, "Oh, hey, that's me. I'm the plain Japanese boy."
Basically, but like she's a total like, she has no self-esteem and total fuck up, and she just can't ever get it to work.
Where did she get the idea that she needs to fuck 100 guys?
I don't know, man. Some probably 57-year-old man drawing anime.
Fair enough, Joe.
I'm gonna put this in a solid E tier.
Whoa!
This I really want Tyler to watch this show because I think he'll just enjoy how trashy it is. But this show is 100% trash.
I do enjoy a hot garbage fire.
It's Tyler. You also you have to watch the English dub of this show. It's oh my god. I was laughing because of how ridiculous it is. But yeah, it's definitely E tier.
This is the win. Rises?
Okay. This is an S tier show. I mean movie. It's 100%. This is literally Miyazaki's best movie he's ever made.
What is this one called?
This is The Wind Rises.
It's the one that came out like in 2018 or 2017.
Yes, 2013.
Miyazaki's best movie.
I'm not going to let you get to S tier, I don't think.
Have you watched this movie?
I have not. But you're going to have to really convince me that this is better than The Howl.
I won't be surprised if a Miyazaki movie is S, but you got to tell us about it.
Yeah.
Bradley. Okay, so this movie is a historical drama about the guy that made the Zero airplanes in World War II in Japan.
He loves that era, man.
You know me.
Yes, I think he grew up in it. So this movie is a tragedy about this guy essentially because he basically he goes through life and throws himself and trying to create this perfect airplane, and he just like becomes so focused on it. It's also almost like a non-battle anime because he looks at the different planes and tries to figure out like what's wrong with them, how can I make them better. It's like one arc in a battle anime essentially, it's basically him building up to building this perfect plane. And it's so good. And like the visuals of it is astounding in terms of like, it's not like fantastical at all. It's like incredibly grounded. It's so good. It's one of my favorite movies to watch. Yeah.
As you know, we're not going to give S's easy for 1v3s. What I will give you is a high A.
Yeah. Like
I'm very passionate about this, and I have no doubt this is good.
Oh yeah, Bradley, I think you would really like this. Just the way
like if it's Miyazaki, like, and I mean it's like these movies always feel so human to me.
Yeah,
and like I would be willing to give the benefit of the doubt and say like, oh, I'd be cool putting it at the bottom of S.
Yeah, like
all right, but understand that by doing this, you are undermining the sanctity of the S tier on 1v3s.
The way that wind is used as like a metaphor and how it's artistically drawn is so good. Like,
all right.
Yeah.
All right, but you used up some of your argument meter there. You can't use a super for a while, right?
That's fine.
All right, you use some of your meter.
Next up is Bakuman.
Bakuman.
Hey!
Joe have read Bakuman. It is
about
the manga about making manga, which features a artist and a writer, and the artist is getting married. He's engaged to a girl, and he'll only engage after he writes his manga. Yada yada.
Yeah.
I think it's a strong C+ personally.
Only C? The way you guys talk about it, I thought it would be an A.
I would put it in like low B. The problem with there's some really good like moments in that. The problem is there's a point in the manga where it kind of just stalls hard, and you're just kind of like, what the fuck are we doing?
There's points of forced conflict between either the manga duo or the artist and his romance, and it's very frustrating. I could put it in low B, but like I really didn't like some of those interruptions. Like but those are E tier interruptions, but the strong points of the show I think average it out to C. C high. That's where I stand personally, but
okay, that averages I think our score out for sure, because I would put it in low B. But like there are definitely parts in there where like, oh man, this is a really interesting manga to read, but there are definitely parts where it's just like, why are we all fighting? Why are we having this moment right now? Can we not?
I'm really conflicted actually. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I learned so much about the manga industry from this. But I learned to hate romance subplots as well. It ends kind of shitty. You know what? We're gonna leave it here.
Yeah, it doesn't have the
man. I always thought you guys liked it more than C.
I mean, I like it.
Why this is a fun tier list. I mean, it's not bad.
I was like, oh, they're gonna throw this fucking in the top of A. So this is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if someone was like, hey, should I read Bakuman? I'm like, yeah, you should.
I'd still recommend you read this. By the way,
there you go.
Yeah.
I would honestly put all of these that I've seen above it. I think that's fair.
Wow. All right. I'll see how it is.
Yeah.
The Devil's a part-timer. Tyler, it is your time.
It's also me. This show's great. This show is so fucking funny.
This show is probably one of the best dubs I have ever watched.
100%. This is also the only isekai that's actually worth recommending to somebody, in my opinion.
Oh, this is great. If you haven't seen The Devil's a Part-Timer, it is a reverse isekai where the devil himself and his most trusted assistant and the hero from another world get transported to everyday normal Japan, and the devil, the overlord himself, gets a job working at McDonald's.
Is this the devil in question?
Yes, it is.
He's too kawaii for Satan, personally, but
I found the first one or two episodes extremely entertaining. I think after that it started having plot, and I kind of fell off. But like the premise, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I'm not gonna. Y'all can put if y'all come to an argument. I'm not gonna block it.
Like I think it was entertaining.
I'm really debated about this because it's like I kind of want to throw in a bottom A, but or at least a top of B, because I honestly think it's one of the funniest animes I've ever watched.
It is hilarious.
So funny. It is so funny.
I would be happy if this was an A, but I can also settle with a very high B.
It's strictly up to you two. I'm not gonna stand in the way of anyone.
I would put it above Yu-Gi-Oh! Like for sure. If like I need to watch this, it's also a really short anime. It's only like 12 episodes or something like that.
Something like that. It's really short. It's got an odd cast of characters in it.
Mm-hmm. There's no romance subplot either, if I remember correctly.
Tyler really likes this. So you should this is a free spot to put something in A, which is a hot tier, and you guys are not taking it, which I think is interesting.
Okay, if this is based solely off the anime, I would throw it in A. But a romance plot does start to develop towards the very end, like 1%.
Yeah,
you could see it going towards that.
There
but
are
also
good
it's like
romance
I don't
plots.
know.
Like this show's all about romance plots, and so is Toradora.
But like that's also its benefit is that romance plot isn't throughout the entirety of the show, which I think really helps it. I would throw it in lower A. Actually,
I'm gonna throw it in A because this show has great waifus and great husbandos too. Like
you know what?
3 great girls and 3 great guys.
I was gonna say A was looking a little sparse. I was like, everything we watch can't be that bad. So
there's a lot of bad anime out there.
Anime is bad. I maybe you forgot that. Like,
don't get me wrong.
Anime is kind
almost
of
every
trash.
series on here I've experienced in manga form rather than anime.
Devil is a Part-Timer also has great animation for a little 13 episoder.
Yeah.
Well, here's an awkward point where I wish I could defend this because I'm sure I would like it, but I have no horse in this race, and we do have 2 people that can talk about this. So go at it, boys.
You can keep that where it is.
Slight announcement: the devil is a part. Wait. So before we move on to B-Stars, but Devil is a Part-Timer is on Netflix with the English dub. So
go watch it. You can finish it tonight.
Yeah. B-Stars, I put that in D tier.
You can leave it where it's at right there.
Dude.
The only reason I put it in D tier is that it does touch on some interesting topics, but it's so romance heavy.
I'm gonna block it from E. I haven't watched it, but I'm going to use some argument juice to say that the concepts seem interesting, so I'm gonna at least put it in D where Joe
there are some
should go.
interesting concepts, but I think like I don't like the main character. I don't think the romance plot is all that too interesting, but the world itself, like the idea of like having a black market for carnivores and they have to use it. Like carnivores literally have to like go against the law to survive is an interesting concept, but I don't think it's really in the anime. It's not really developed or it's not really explored a lot. It might be in the manga. And the anime covers like almost half the manga too.
Joe, you know what?
Yeah,
I'll give you that. You're right. That was okay.
Like one of the most polarizing anime I've heard of because like I asked 2 people besides you guys about it. One of them said, "Holy shit, it's my favorite anime. It's amazing." And the other one said, "This is the worst shit I've ever seen in my life."
That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
That's next. Who's seen
it?
I've only seen like 3 episodes of this, but they were enjoyable.
This is not the worst isekai.
Hey.
I don't think so either. No, it's pretty good.
It is not great either. It's a fun watch. If you want to have a fun isekai, like if you're like, oh man, this is bad isekai, like that time I tried to summon a demon lord, like this isn't that bad. It's got a fun little cast of characters. I think there's like only kind of 1 waifu in it, or maybe I think 3 show up all kind of at once.
Yeah.
But rest of the time it's like about monsters and everything, and it revolves around this guy. The way he dies is he's walking down the street and he just gets stabbed.
Fuck.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed and that's the end of him. And then he gets reincarnated as a slime with 1 broken ability, and it's just to absorb everything. Okay. He happens to get like spawned in the highest level of the world too, where he uses his charm and wit to befriend like a god dragon, and then he like absorbs the god dragon, and that's what makes him.
God
It's like-
Dragon.
No, like the God Dragon lets him. He's like, yeah, let's flex some shit
Well,
up.
because the reason being is that the God Dragon is trapped within the cave, and
Okay, you don't need to give me the hard sell. Where's
Yeah.
this going?
I throw it in. You know what? I'd put it at a high C. It's isekai.
High C, you put it over Toriko. I wouldn't put it over Bakuman. Nah, it didn't.
I mean,
Not over
I'm
Bakuman?
fine. I'm not gonna argue it against if it gets higher than Toriko. I trust
Okay.
y'all.
It
Man,
gets
Toriko's
because
some fire.
it's an isekai, but yeah.
I was too harsh on Toriko, but that's life.
Nah.
Should we do Berserk now? Because I think we're doing Berserk now.
Okay.
I can, but you guys got to realize what you're getting into. Like, aside from One Piece, this is the story here that I'm most passionate about. So ask yourself if you want to do this right now.
Tell you what, Bradley. I know you're gonna fight for it to be in top 5. I know
I
you
will.
are. And I'm gonna tell you to save all your panels and save all your arguments for when I knock it out of top 5 much later. But I will co-sign it into a tentative top 5. Okay.
Tentative.
I-
Okay.
The only thing literally stopping me from Berserk is the fact that it's on constant hiatus, so I don't know if it'll
The fact that
win.
it'll never end.
Yeah.
All right. I've only read Berserk until the beginning of the Fairy arc, which is after Golden Age, which is a very good flashback arc, very long. But I don't love Berserk, but I think it's really quality, and I know Bradley loves it, and I'm gonna give up some of my argument points so he can go easy on my later arguments and allow him to put it up here.
Yeah.
Bradley, you can do a quick explanation to why Berserk is so damn good.
Yeah, I won't give the full talk on Berserk right now. But you know, I'll save all that for later if we need to talk about it. But you know, I first started reading Berserk because I heard it was like, oh, it's this 30-year-old. It's influenced like almost all. It's influenced everything. It's referenced everywhere. It's this really iconic manga. So I read a little bit of the Black Swordsman arc, and I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. He's an edgy boy with a sword. I
Yeah.
didn't touch it again for a few more years, and I read it again, and I got to the end of the Black Swordsman arc where you see my favorite manga panel of all time, which is Guts crying, and I was like, okay. What's going on with this guy? Like, what is it about this character?
That panel is
And so-
genuinely amazing.
So I read forward, and I get to present day, and Guts has grown on me so much as a person. In all of manga and anime, he is the one who feels the most like an organic human being to me. This is a man who he laughs and he cries and he gets angry and he encourages other people and he loses and he'll lash out and then he'll come back and he's a father figure. He's so dynamic and it is insane to me. And I feel like a lot of the reasons that he is like the face of the mannish man, edgy brute archetype is that most people, the experience they have with Berserk is the Black Swordsman and Golden Age arc, because those are the arc that has been adapted into anime. And so that's what most people have seen. And those are the ones people most talk about. But Berserk is a story about healing. And the Golden Age arc is the prologue to the story. It is showing what necessitates the healing, but it happens before the story of Berserk, which is what made me love it so much. So
like-
I'll talk about the rest later, but Guts is he's a very real human to me, and it just makes the story so compelling.
If Guts so cool, why didn't he kill Donovan? I'm sorry.
Why no Berserk too? So fun thing about Berserk is that my friend at times like, oh man, you should read Berserk or blah blah blah. I was like, okay, I'll read Berserk, and he just started reading it. I read like the first I think 10 or 12 chapters. Like, I don't really want to read this. It's just big man with big sword fighting things. And I stopped reading it. I told my friend, he's like, oh, whatever. And he kept reading it. And I think one time I was like, oh, did you ever finish Berserk? He's like, no, I stopped because it started talking about feelings and a bunch of other bullshit.
Oh,
I know that's the point where I was like, oh my god,
That's
like
the
you're
point I'm desperately
just a
trying to
sword
get to.
boy.
Yeah, like everything I've ever heard about Berserk makes me want to read it. It's just literally what's stopping me is the fact that the author keeps going on hiatuses for its manga, which means that I'm already in One Piece and JoJolion hell. I don't need a third hell to be trapped in right now.
That's why it's scary. It's like it could actually end any chapter now, but that's a scary thing when the chapters are like 6 months apart.
I mean, we're not in hell, Joe. We get constant releases. Like it's not
We
fair
do,
to compare
we
what
do.
we have compared to what Berserk fans have. Like they go through it, man.
I agree, but like the fact that like there's no One Piece this week makes me so sad and worthless.
Oh, I'm sure you're sad. Meanwhile, Bradley's been sad for 6 months. All right.
No, we got
I mean, a
one
new chapter did
last month.
come out. Funny thing about this, and I think we talked about it in a recent One Piece talk, is like, I think we got to the Enies Lobby Legend of a Hero chapter in One Piece. And after I read that chapter, I was like, guys, I've been thinking about it for a long time. It's been a hard fight. I think maybe One Piece finally surpassed Berserk as my favorite manga, at least until a new Berserk chapter comes out. Within the hour, my friend is like, holy shit, new Berserk chapter just dropped.
Well, I'll tell you what. There will be other points where you realize One Piece is your favorite later on. There's plenty of time.
There's a lot of One Piece left.
I'm seeing pretty far into the future.
Oh God.
I'm
so excited.
So, all right, we're gonna leave it there. If there is one negative I could say about what I've experienced with Berserk is I think there's a reason why I've bounced off this fairy arc like 2 or 3 times that I've tried. It's really hard. It's quite a dip from what the Golden Age ends on.
Like,
but I'm definitely gonna get back to it. I keep promising myself, and I will. I'm gonna do it.
The Golden Age arc is one of the most famous arcs in manga history, and it is the end of that arc is such a climax that anything that comes after it is going to feel like, oh, this is boring.
But then also, like, them being dumb fairies is helping. But one thing you didn't touch on is how amazing Griffith is as a villain. And I don't want to get into it. I just want to say that I acknowledge that Griffith is so cool.
Like, there's still so much discussion about him to this day. And by discussion, I don't mean people who say Griffith did nothing wrong, because I think they're obviously joking.
Yeah.
There is very serious discussion about, okay, what he did was wrong, but how much blame do we assign to him? That's the interesting discussion to me.
Okay. We're going to put that on hold. Tyler, it is your time to shine.
You have Ringing Bell on here?
Of course I have fucking Ring.
Top 5. You don't want to take Berserk out of there. Ringing Bell. Let's go.
God tier. Tyler, we have 3 seasons of Sword Art Online.
Wow.
Let's do them right now. Get them out of the way.
We're doing them all at once.
You separated this because
All
season
at
1 is
once.
supposed to be very different, right?
Let's start with season 1.
Okay.
We're gonna go with this.
So I've also watched season 1. I should point that out.
I think everybody has in the world, probably.
Not me.
Yeah.
Like anybody who's watched anime has seen the first 12 episodes of Sword Art
I'm not
Online.
into anime. It's trash, so I haven't watched it.
I am big Sword Art fan.
This is Tyler's favorite anime. Like this is the one anime
does
that he
not incest his sister.
But he thinks about it, though.
His sister, no, he never does. His sister is a weirdly confused teenage introvert who he is actually adopted. Like,
oh my god, this can't go further than C already. Like,
that's only the second half, and people hate it. Alfheim Online's really like this is the highest anime isekai probably ever. That immediately goes into the worst territory ever.
Yeah, man, the first half of the first season, I was like, this is really enjoyable, and it's doing a really good job in selling me in this situation, and I'm kind of enjoying it.
And you know what sucks is the first half of the first season is a flashback.
Is it a flashback?
It's a flashback all the way up until episode 8.
in media res.
Yeah,
Tyler, where are you?
I'm going to put it in high B or low A.
Okay.
Whoa, I can't allow this.
It's 2013. Sword Art is just now coming out, and there has not been another hardcore isekai since Dot Hack.
Joe,
I will
co-sign
put
his A.
I won't co-sign the A. I will say B because it's Alfheim's incest aside, Alfheim is okay. The first half of the show, I think, is actually a really good way of how you should handle an isekai. My one complaint is that first half ends way too quickly. It should have been the entirety of the season. They should have done a lot more with the characters introduced. But I'll put it at B because I think it's good enough to be in B.
How about
I
here,
don't
Tyler?
know. I wouldn't put it above the theme park, but that's my personal taste.
Yeah, but
I
Tyler
would put it
wins.
above Yu-Gi-Oh! In all honesty.
No, no, because
absolutely.
Yu-Gi-Oh's got memes for days.
Oh, I'm saying there's some trashy memes that.
All I'm saying is Sword Art has content in Maple Story and a lot of other MMOs. Just gonna say.
I don't want to. Anyways, where's season 2 go?
Season 2 is definitely in the C category. I would even put it high. No, I'll put it very low C. It can't be in the same category as B stars.
Now, what you told me about Alicization, I will give you some leeway with this. I'm just more interested conceptually on how you've explained season 3.
So let me do a little bit build up. The first 12 episodes of Sword Art, as everybody knows, you die in the game, you die in real life. The second arc of that season starts to build up what is actually like the role of Kirito in this like 2020x future of cybercrime and full dive technology, and it kind of becomes this cyber criminal investigation show. And that's what I see it as. I don't see it as this constant, you die in the game, you die in real life, because in season 2, there's no threat ever to die. Someone's always able to die, but it more becomes like people are getting murdered. The same as in season 1. Like, it's all about murder always. I think only obviously a lot of characters die to the game in season 1. But in season 2, it's all about investigating murders. And then, like, it has this shitty spin-off plot of this cancer patient girl who's stronger than Kirito. And it's really bad because they did it the second half of season 2, when in actuality it spins off because they go back to Alfheim. And in actuality, what happens is all of Alfheim is in one chunk, and then they go to Gun Gale. Another thing about season 1 and why I wanted to rate it higher is there's this great part in the show that there's only one episode long called the Midnight Cats. And it's this guild that Kirito joins that he's like has PTSD about the rest of the show. And that's because because in the light novels, this is actually his first love interest and like his first real group of friends.
I'll tell you what, Tyler. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna put this in high B. This is a 4-person tier list, and you clearly like this even more than I thought. I thought you'd shit on this more, but you genuinely like it.
I genuinely do. Like, the second part is bad, and I will give anybody that doubt. Like, the incest arc is weird because it's still like, step bro, what are you doing? But like,
that's such
even
an
in the
iconic line in 2020,
the light novels have a nice structure to them where, like, it starts in the middle of episode 8. The light novels do, and it has this nice characterization.
Is 3 better than 1?
3, actually, I'm going to put in middle to high A tier.
Now,
let me get into this.
Okay. I will.
Alicization is the culmination of these mid to bad subplots of him investigating cybercrime to this is what happens is it's the real world, like, where they have full dive technology and they even have augmented reality now, like, based off the movie. Like, this stuff, it carries over. And Kirito's walking down the street with Asuna and some guy from the guild in the first movie, because they're still like a group of antagonists that like to murder people because they're fucking crazy. Like, he's walking down the street and Kirito just straight up gets stabbed. And he goes into a coma. And he gets transported to this government facility, and it's the section of the government that he's been working for, investigating cyber crimes. And they put him in this new world. It's like the underworld, that is built to develop human realistic AI, much like the fairy character, the daughter from the first season. So like the entire point of the underworld is to develop a human AI that can make and think decisions for itself. So Kirito starts off as level 1. He's got shit tier powers, and it's him and his one best guy friend. And this one girl too that gets like kidnapped way at the beginning of the show because she violates the world's rules. And so like they have to go find her, and there's all these rules that are established in this world that make it so Kirito can't become overpowered, and he has to learn how to become strong. And it's basically the great it's a like it is a culmination of what people wanted the rest of season 1 to be, where Kirito can die in this world. He's in a coma. He's already on the brink of death. Like he has like this is his 1-up chance. And if he dies in this world, he's going to never come out of his coma.
Joe and Bradley.
Bradley's he's back.
Kirito, the Black Swordsman.
Are we going to allow this into A tier?
I don't know enough about it. Is the thing.
I don't.
No.
But Tyler, I'm gonna say. Joe says no. I say yes.
Let me add this on there.
Yeah.
None of the annoying characters from the first 2 seasons are in it, except Asuna. She's doesn't even have that big of a part. There's none of the annoying waifus, except towards like the middle of the war. Some show up.
We're gonna put it
this
in
is
A.
all about Kirito and his brother fighting against gods.
Dude.
Fine.
We're gonna put it in high B.
The thing is, like, among anime lovers, Sword Art Online does seem very light. I am not an anime lover.
This is specifically season 3, which I don't know if season 3 is popular. How do other people feel about season 3 compared to 1?
Yeah,
I honestly have no idea.
Okay. Well, fuck 'em. That's fine.
It's on its second hiatus too. Like season 3 is as long as 1 and 2 put together.
That's
Damn.
interesting.
Yeah, it is a
Tyler,
really long episode.
a lot of what you said hurt me, just having to listen.
Yeah.
But some of what you said was cool. Like, I like how Kirito actually has stakes. We're going to put it in A, but know that you are drained from your argument resource pool.
I'm okay with that. Season 3 is great.
You can recover it over time by
Right to the
blocking
top
and
left
parrying.
again.
I'm at -2 BP right now.
Yeah.
I'll recover over my next
Yeah.
turn.
In 2 turns, you get some more BP, and then you can brave. You just braved really hard.
Yeah.
I did.
What the hell is this?
This is Billy Bat. Billy Bat is a manga that I've read. This is a manga with a fascinating premise. Now, I haven't finished it. It's really... It's a very intensive read. There's a lot of mysterious things going on, and it's fairly longish, but it's made by the guy who made 20th Century Boys. So he's in there, unless I'm mistaken about that, I'm pretty sure. But the base premise is there is a manga artist who, like, talks to... Oh, God, I'm going to fuck this up because it's been a little while. But, like, there's this bat that this manga artist sees that kind of tells him the future. And then other people see this bat, too, and he kind of... There's a white bat and a black bat, and they're trying to steer the future of humanity in a certain direction. And you get to this really long past where, like, you get to, like, Judeo-Christian roots where, like, people who Jesus met were seeing the bat. And I think one of them was Judas. And the bat's like, yo, you should kill that Jesus guy. And then, like, you get to this other part of the flashback where it's, like, ninja warriors. It's this really, like, it's out of nowhere, but it's the story about these ninja clans. And you get really invested in these characters within, like, 10 chapters. With this, like, little mini arc where they're fighting to protect this scroll that has one of the bats in it. And, like, it's the secret of their village. And there's all this betrayal that happens for the scroll. The part where I stopped at was, God, what is his name? Who assassinated JFK?
Me.
Bradley.
Sniper on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, John Wilkes Booth? That's...
That's
that's
the guy
Lincoln.
who assassinated Abraham.
Right, I always get him confused. God damn it. Anyways, Bradley, the JFK assassinator, he's currently being, like...
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oswald, right. He's currently being, like, enticed by this bat to do this, and there's this Prime Division, Task Division that's trying to figure out what the fuck is up with these bats. But the bat that's talking to the manga author seems to be like a benevolent bat. It is some completely bullshit, like batshit insane things. Pun intended, I suppose. It's really interesting. I want to read more. I just hadn't had time. I'm really invested so far in where the story goes, and it's.
This sounds like something I need to put onto my.
Oh, I think you and Bradley should absolutely check this out.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about this, and I really loved the art style from what I saw, and it sounded like something I'd really like.
The art style reminds me of Dick Tracy, which I think is really cool.
It's complex because like it's been a while since I've read it, so I forgot so many cool key points that I'm gonna have to gloss over when I get back to it. But it's just this interesting story, and I think the key draw is the mystery of what are these bats. They've kind of explained themselves as like forces of good and evil, but you want to learn more of like what that actually means, and you want to see where this bat is steering our main character, manga artist. It jumps through time consistently, but like I think the main character is this manga artist, and you want to see what his role to play. Because like if the bat is influencing like Judas and John Wilkes or Lee Harvey Oswald, then like what is he doing to this manga artist, or is this a positive thing? Because there is also like a white bat. I'm gonna put this in B. I haven't gotten far enough in it, but premise is really strong.
Based off of what I've been looking at, like I just posted the one with Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
And the art style for this alone, this is I support you. In
this.
There's even a section with Einstein and Hitler.
Yeah, no, dude, this shit is fire. Is this the one? Yeah, there's the part with Jesus.
Yeah,
guys, this shit is batshit. Like, you guys need to get on this as well with me.
I'm totally in. This sounds like something
I'm sold.
Yeah, same.
It's really cool, and I wish I could have sold it better, but like I think it's really decent.
You should message us where we can read this later.
The decks.
The decks?
Manga decks.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Would y'all like to take a bathroom break now? Now would be a good time, I think.
Can I go through the drive-thru at Wendy's?
Yeah, if you want to get some food, we can take a break. I think that.
Because if I'm going to keep drinking ciders, I don't want to drive right now.
Yeah, that should take like 10, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's like right on the corner.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go fast.
Reconvene. Right, we're live. We got food. We got drinks. Argument juices. We've added a couple of new series to here. I think we added 2 or 3 because we just remember that they're worth talking about midway through. Where did we leave off in the bottom or the top?
We just did. What did we just did Billy Bat, which was the top because that's B. So right.
So yeah. Are we alternating between top and bottom?
Yeah, I've been doing it the whole time.
This is an alphabetical order, so Billy Bat was top.
Okay. You goddamn fool! All right, it's Spirited Away.
Oh God. Who has seen this besides me?
Me.
I have.
Okay. Dude, everybody in the world seen Spirited Away.
Good. Spirited Away Until the Wind Rises was my favorite Miyazaki movie.
Okay.
That's just. Have you? What?
I'm waiting for everyone to go before I go.
Yeah, so I would put this movie up in S tier.
Okay.
But that's just me.
It's S, dude.
Okay.
I'm crying. It's S.
Tyler?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go A. Like, this movie's good, but I felt nothing special towards it.
That's why I would put it in B personally.
Like, I enjoy studio movies, but I was just like, maybe because I didn't see it at the time. I know this is actually, I think, one of the few anime movies to win. I think they won an Academy Award.
Yeah, definitely historic significance here. There's something about some of the Ghibli movies I've seen, which isn't many. There's not a connecting tissue for the plot. I feel like shit just kind of happens. And it might just be me not being paying attention or something. I don't super love this movie like as much as other people do, but I like it. I think it's a B movie.
I really like this movie because it's about this girl like learning to take care of herself and not to take her parents for granted.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point of the movie,
Yeah.
and I
Is
really,
it?
really like it. Yeah,
This is a coming of age movie, and there are a lot of metaphorical concepts that are made very literal, where she is starting to get to an age where she is able to see that maybe her parents don't always do what's right. And whenever they act like pigs, that is what they become. And in a world of spirits, there are a lot of spirits have exactly the personality that you would expect them to have from looking at them. I think they are walking embodiments of ideas. And this is a coming of age movie where she is dropped in to this world where, you know, initially she's kind of a baby. She goes along with what her parents say. And whenever she is thrust out on her own, seeing what her parents have done, she is now lost, and she gets her first job, and she struggles and she learns, and eventually she finds her way. She finds her niche within that bathhouse, and she becomes beloved, and she eventually has to make hard decisions about what she wants to do, where she wants to go, who she wants to leave. And you have all that wrapped up in this package that is beautifully animated. It is such a unique world.
yeah.
I fucking love this movie.
The whole like mini arc within that's all about like No Name and him coming to the bathroom is one of my favorite like visual things to watch, and struggles throughout the entirety of anime itself. Like it's one of my favorite moments to watch ever animated.
Is there a thematic point to No Name that I missed? Or is he just an arc that happens?
No,
Okay.
he does. I would have to look into it more to like figure out what it is, but he definitely represents like kind of like stranger danger and greed and like people like, and this idea of like being subservient to somebody in order to try to like, it's finding your own self-worth through someone else that's like existentially giving it to you, because he just gives everyone money, and he literally then consumes everybody because it gets so near him.
Whenever someone denies, like, he needs that validation, and when someone denies accepting his gold, it fucking destroys him.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tyler, do you still think this is an A?
I would even, I guess I could throw it up into an S. Now that I've had it explained to me, I guess I remember the specific time I viewed this movie. It was like 3 a.m. I wasn't giving it my full attention, and I never went off and looked into like the theming of it.
I think we average. I still put it in a B. I think we average out to a high A. Well, I mean, if it's 3 S's, it's more like a low S then.
It's like this movie just is so good, and there's just I love everything about this.
It's legendary, dude.
I feel like this is an argument I am losing, so we are gonna put it in low
I
S.
mean, just talk about impact. Like,
Yeah, definitely. Impact.
I think this is a very widely beloved movie, even outside of this Quattro right here.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's
We'll put in low S for now.
oh man,
Tyler,
sell us, man.
Tyler, do you hear that? Do you
Sell
hear
us,
that?
Tyler.
I just hear constant yelling. Oh, Black Clover.
Black Clover, more like whack clover.
So here's the thing. I have a very unique take on this show. I have seen all of the anime and read all of the manga.
I
Wow.
have gotten really far in the manga. This was when I was reading my I was reading my One Piece through the weekly magazines that had a bunch of series. So I forced myself to catch up to Black Clover, so I could just keep reading it as I was reading One Piece. Excuse me. Boy,
This is like if I honestly don't even know.
it's okay. This is generico the manga. It is so generic. Here's the thing. Here's what kills me about Black Clover. There are diehard fans of Black Clover. It's like to a lot of people, Black Clover is their Naruto. It's like they're growing up like cool generic shonen. And I just don't think it has the substance of Naruto. It moves around so fast. Like the pace in Black Clover is best described as neck breaking. It is incredibly quick to the point where you're just blazing through plot threads and it just feels bad. Now, but on the flip side, there's some small, genuine moments of brilliance in there where, like, there's these 2 chapters where Asta, the main character, loses his ability to use his arms. And it's, like, the most compelling 2 chapters of the manga that I've read so far. And then on chapter 3, it gets reversed. I think off screen even. They find the cure.
Yeah.
And that really spells out Black Clover in general. It's just a lot of hype moments and fights with zero substance. And when there is substance, we can't make it too serious. We gotta move through it so we can get to our generic class divide storyline. It is like this basic class divide storyline. There's nothing really going on. There is a cool twist though with like the Lich King, if you know that twist. Like that's pretty decent. Not bad.
Basically, no anything can get more than 2 episodes of development.
Yeah.
Or like a chapter.
The characters are likable enough, though. For some reason, Asta is my favorite character in this show. As much as he yells, when you're reading a manga, you don't have to hear him yell, first of all. Second of all, like his hardworking attitude and the fact that he's like a 4 foot tall, ripped little giant, like there's something really charming about Asta.
Asta's no bitch.
He's no bitch.
He is shredded. If any person, like, he is like the only real life comparison I have of him is like Tyler One, the League streamer.
Like, dude, I know who you're talking about, Tyler. The only thing I know about that guy is that he never fucking shuts up. He just yells all the time.
He yells all the time, and he's really short, and he's really buff.
Wait, so it's Asta?
Yeah, he is Asta. Like, the magic in this show is pretty cool, too. Like,
I actually genuinely like the magic system. It's basically just like, it has the 4 elements, and then with different combinations and combinations of the combinations, you get offshoot magic styles like painting magic and mirror magic and sand magic. I don't know, it's just fun. It's a fun...
I kind of like that.
You don't have to think about it too hard, but you get some cool power sets from it, and it's cool to see, like, oh, you combine these forms of magic to make this very niche magic, and it's pretty fun, I think.
I'm gonna say, like, this is a C-tier show, C-tier manga, just because while it's good content, and it can be really fun, and at some points in the anime, there are just god-tier fight animations. Like, sometimes they go really great, and then sometimes in a single episode, you may get, like, on average 4 frames per second in animation. Like, I believe I watched a half filler, half very important plot point episode, and it looked like it had been Harvey Birdman'd, where all of the animations were just like reused, stitched together content.
That's rough. But I know there's some.
No, put it below Tokyo Ghoul. Even I would put it below.
I'm gonna put it in the lowest of C. But here's like, people are such diehards fan for this, and like, I get that y'all enjoy it, and to some degree, I enjoy it too. But like, really think about the stuff. Like, people like this show because of the character Yami. Like, that's kind of encapsulates people's life.
The wind guy?
No, Yami is the badass swordsman.
Oh, the dark magic guy. Yeah, Yami's great. If the entire show was about him, it would be great. And guess what?
Yami's so generic badass, though, where it's like, it's like Black Clover takes the tropes from every anime you've ever seen and combines the best of them. So it's a best of the things you've already seen.
Yeah,
and I think that's why people like it. You're getting a lot of good things that don't stitch together super well, I think.
They took all those best elements, and it's like, when those best elements don't have that little bit of roughness to them, it doesn't create something as memorable.
Noelle's pretty cool. I like her.
And even in the show,
the girl's pretty good.
Each individual character, other than like Yami, and even Yami a little bit, there is great progression of all these characters, like, constantly throughout the show. They get better. They change their hairstyles. They change their wardrobes.
This is progression for Tyler right here. They change their wardrobes.
Okay, that's a big deal in some anime. AKA a little thing we call One Piece.
One
How
Piece,
important are the wardrobes?
They change their wardrobes every arc, okay, but also they're static characters to begin with.
Yeah.
The thing with Black Clover is there is character development, but it's so fast most of the time where it doesn't feel good. However,
Yeah.
there's this character called Finral.
Yo,
He has-
he is the best.
He has teleportation magic, and his storyline is actually really good. So, all that to say, there is good in Black Clover's generic wasteland, for sure.
I have a
Yeah.
controversial.
Generic doesn't mean bad, by the way. Generic just means you've seen it enough to where it could be bad. You know?
I have a controversial opinion about everything in
Oh
life.
fuck, everything.
Yeah. I feel like more likely than not, people fall in love with the idea of a world than the actual story being told within it.
Wow.
More
that's
often
deep,
than
Joe.
not. I.e., I'm not going to finish my sentence because I could literally be smited from the heavens.
Do it, bitch.
No.
Argument
It's really
juice.
sacrilegious.
Do
Not
it.
for anime, but for life.
Do it!
No. All right,
Coward.
what's next?
I'm so mad that you're not doing it.
The Bible. Anyways,
Okay. That is not at all where I thought we would go.
Oh boy, I get 2 in a row.
Yes.
yeah.
Shimonetta, who's seen this? I haven't.
I've seen 6 episodes.
This is above B stars, right up there in D tier where it belongs.
Okay, tell us about it.
This is a terrible anime. It's called Shimonetta, A World Without Dirty Jokes.
That's
Ah.
oh, I do remember you telling me about this.
And it's all this light sexual humor throughout the entire show. It's about this boy. He wants to go to this really prestigious school who's like, they're known for how prude they are and how clean. And his dad's like a war criminal or like a criminal to the state who like distributed literature and porn.
Mm-hmm.
And he befriends this girl, as you can see in the thumbnail right there. She's this masked underwear vigilante.
She's the vice president of the school. I
Yeah,
believe.
she ends up being the vice president of the school, and she goes around with underwear on her head and throws porn everywhere. And all these people, like, they get the porn and they're like, oh, what is this? What? I've never seen this before. And like in the very first episode, they show like they hack this projector during a school ceremony, and it shows mosquitoes mating on it. And like all these boys and girls start to come in their pants. And like,
Did I write this?
yes, Bradley would love this.
Yeah.
Did I write this show?
Bradley, you would like this, I think.
I don't remember writing this, but I must have.
Yeah, so like the whole point of the show is about censorship, and like basically the whole government has collars on you, and like if you see anything sexual or say anything sexual, they'll like shock you almost. Something along those lines. So it's definitely all about censorship. It's just outrageously sexual all the time.
It is outrageous to the max. It is terrible. It is fun. You need to know it's just a terrible bonfire full of garbage memes. Oh, the thing that got me to watch this show is there's a part in the show where the president of the prude school starts to discover her sexuality,
Oh fuck.
and she doesn't understand what's going on. So she takes her love juices and bakes them into cookies and then feeds them to the student council.
Yo.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yep.
She's like, I wanted to give you all my love, especially you, something kun.
Oh
All
my
right,
god.
we're moving on.
I think this should be an E tier because that's the same kind of shit H gotta B or B gotta HK does.
All right, it's going to bottom of D. We're done. We've spent too
Yeah.
much time. Let's talk about Bleach.
Oh,
All right. First of all, none of us have finished Bleach,
No.
and that is so telling.
Yeah. Yeah.
so I love Tite Kubo's art style. I like his character designs.
I hate his backgrounds.
His backgrounds are white, so they don't count for anything. But like he has a one shot on Jump right now. I read the first few pages. I just haven't gone around the reading it entirely. I'm like, I opened it up. It's like, oh man, I forgot how much I just like how he draws his characters.
If you like his art style, you should play the video game Sakura Wars.
Yeah, I that I told you about that. I kind of want to get it, but I think that game's also trash. But
people seem to really like it's good trash. Apparently, I'm just saying.
Oh, good. That might give me.
Anyways, Tite Kubo, good character designs, good OP. If there's any positive I can say about Bleach, it's asterisks.
Oh, that like the hard opening of is just so good. That OP is probably the best OP that's ever been made for an anime ever. Maybe.
Wow, okay, Bloody Stream is right there, you mongoloid.
That's true.
Okay,
I forget about Bloody Stream, but asterisk is what I put on my like workout playlists whenever I go running and everything. It's so good.
Weebass. Bleach. Bleach is something I watched the beginning, and then I jumped around as throughout the years to see what was going on. Mm-hmm. It seems so bad. And like, you can discount my opinion because I haven't read it all if you want, but it just feels so. It feels like Dragon Ball Z with swords, but without like Kishimoto's like good sense of like building tension, I guess. Like, oh no, Vegeta needs to get the Dragon Balls, but they've been moved now, so he's fucked. Or like, Goku's dead now, so Gohan has to do it alone. Like, it doesn't quite hit these tension points that Dragon Ball does, but it has the same problem of like, we're just gonna shoot sword beams at each other for most of the time, and then every once in a while we're gonna have this semi-strategic fight where the ice guy has to fight the water girl, and like who can freeze or melt each other faster. It's like, it's just not interesting at all to me. I strongly dislike Bleach, and the way it ends is a trash fire. I don't know. Is anyone gonna vouch for this shit?
I would put it in the bottom of a C just because of asterisk.
No. You don't like it as much as you like A Town Where You Lived or Bakuman.
I said bottom of C.
You don't like it as much as you like Beastars. I don't know if that's true.
No. I get more. I would get more entertainment watching like the first, like, up until when they rescue Rukia. That's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, because that's when Bleach is good. Like, the first part of Bleach, I think, is really good. It has some interesting moments, and I think it has an interesting concept about death and sinning and all this other kind of stuff.
I'm more interested in Town Where You Lived. No,
that's
not
good.
True. That's not true. I'm more, like, Bleach is so far below Toriko and Bakuman for me, and even like when Black Clover shits on you, bro, you have problems.
That's fair.
Like, does anyone dislike Bleach as much as me? Like, I want to put it in D.
I'm okay.
I'm okay with that. Throw it down below Shimonetta.
No.
No.
That'll upset too many people.
because you haven't read Rosario Vampire, and that shit gets fucking dumb.
Is that worse than Shimonetta?
No, Shimonetta is trash.
Shimonetta is bad.
Bradley, is Angel Beats worse than like these two trash? Like, Angel's Beats isn't trash, is it? He's dead, Jim.
Bradley, you're muted.
So it was entertaining enough that I finished the whole thing. Here's the thing with Bleach is like, I don't remember a ton of it because like what I watched was back in high school, and I remember it's because my buddy was like, "Oh, dude, it's like Dragon Ball Z with swords," and I got into it for a tiny bit, and I feel like the bits it takes from Dragon Ball Z are like the not good parts of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
So yeah, take that for what you will.
I'm gonna put Angel Beats above the trash shows, and I'm gonna put Bleach.
All right.
Bleach above the rest. Space Dandy, I've never seen.
I
love.
There's someone that we know that loves Space Dandy. Bradley loves Space Dandy. I have tried to watch Space Dandy like 3 times now. I've been told it's a very episodic.
Yeah. There's
show,
no like long running plot, really.
Right, but there's something at the end that ties it all together. I'm like, okay, sure, but I never got through it entirely. I think it has some good humor into it, but there's a point where it just gets so episodic that I'm just like, I kind of want to know what the point of the show is.
This is very unlike a lot of series on this list where like Space Dandy is not for any kind of long running plot. It is like an episode to episode. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's a lot of just good mindless fun. I love the art style. I think it's a beautiful show, really well animated. Love the music. It's fucking funky. Dandy's a funny guy. I was gonna put it either like low B or high C. I want to fight for low B. I always have fun watching it. Take that for what you will.
Tyler, have you seen this?
I'm gonna throw that in low B.
Okay, low B.
I agree with Bradley. Space Dandy has great humor, great character. I was honestly, I thought Space Dandy was pretty old when I first watched it, and it's actually very recent. A little bit.
Yeah, it came out. It came out the year we were in. I was watching this originally, like week to week when it would come out. When I was a freshman in college, and I got to the episode where there's zombies, and I was just like, I'm not attached to this.
I love that episode.
I would what Tyler saying where it kind of looks where like he thought it was old. I would say it's kind of like, I think the word is retro futuristic, where it's like it's like a very old view of what sci-fi stuff would look like.
That's interesting.
But yeah, no, it is like Joe said, it is very episodic, which is good for some people, bad for some people. It's why I'm not putting it super high, because I really like a good narrative going on. Space Dandy is just like, I'll throw it on if I just want to watch an episode or two and have a good time.
So there's a show on here that we'll get to it soon that the same guy actually made. Space Dandy is made by Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
the guy that made Cowboy Bebop.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
And Cowboy Bebop is like the opposite, where it's episodic, but the characters are so good that it's worth watching.
Yeah.
I don't feel that attachment to Space Dandy.
Space Dandy is like more comedy focused than serious.
Are we getting a Cowboy Bebop? Did I not put this?
Close.
There?
Are you shitting me?
Where is it?
Huh.
Where is it?
Oh
fuck.
Well, we got cells at work at least.
Hey, baby.
Oh shit.
Willer,
we'll
you've got to be shitting me.
We'll figure that out. Fuck it. Tyler, if one of y'all can get me the square image for Cowboy Bebop while we discuss the other shows, that'd be great. Who watched Blue Exorcist?
I did.
I watched a few episodes of it.
Me too. It seemed pretty generic, but I like the art style.
I would say, other than the actual Supernatural anime, this is Supernatural the anime.
Like the TV show, the anime?
Yeah. But one of the brothers becomes possessed by, gains the powers of Satan. And they're both church boys, and then they go off to school. This is basically like Asta and his brother a little bit, but this is a pretty older anime. It has
Asta doesn't have a brother.
The guy who they went to church with, the rival.
Yes, you know.
Yeah, you know.
I guess it could be.
I thought one of them was named Yuki.
No.
Him and the brother have this interesting relationship where his brother doesn't have anything special or powers about him, but he's really smart. And he has to work really hard to find his way. And they go fight demons and stuff. He has this blue blade that blue flames of the devil, and he has to fit in this world with it. It's interesting. It has great character development. I'd really put it in that average C tier of, if you love it, you love it. I would put it pretty high up there. It's got great resolution throughout the entire story, good character development, good side characters. There's great internal conflict between the relationship between these brothers, and one being super strong and the other having to work hard a lot. And he can't keep up even though he's smarter, and it's a lot of fun.
Cool. Next up is Soul Eater.
Who
are the Soul Eater stands here?
I've watched all of the anime for Soul Eater. I read past where the anime ended in the manga, but I don't remember it that much.
Probably because the ending is super different from the manga, right? So that must
yeah. There's a character in the manga that has a huge plot twist that doesn't happen in this anime.
Wait, whomstead of?
It's the guy with the headphones in it that he fights the beats. He's a bad guy the entire time. Joseph, I think his name is, with the...
I haven't watched the show, and even I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he turns out to be a villain.
All right,
that
so Soul
doesn't
Eater-
surprise me.
The cool thing about Soul Eater is the whole
Yeah.
weapon is a human system, and the art style
Yeah.
being fucking flames.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
But where are y'all realistically putting this? Because
The
stuff.
I would put above seven Deadly Sins. I would put it in the C tier.
I could
I
put
don't
it
know.
like high C,
Yeah.
at least. At least I was even feeling a little bit of B, but now that I'm looking at B, there's some I don't know if it's as good as some of those things.
I would put it above Space Dandy.
I could put it above Space Dandy, actually. You know what?
That seems
Soul-
like it averages out to a below Space Dandy B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soul Eater is timeless. It has this style to it that even
It does
for
have the
anime, it's
style.
pretty unique.
It's got some great babes.
Yeah.
Dude, Blair the Witch? You just know, dude.
This is a
Yeah.
great early 2000s anime
Mhm.
manga that it doesn't hold up as well into this later era, but for its time was great. And I think the unique world around it is really
Yeah,
fun.
I really like the concept of they had to capture these souls. I really like the concept of Death the Kid. I think that's what his name is.
God,
Yes.
it seems like the coolest part of that show.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It is.
He's so cool.
There's a whole plot point with Kid with his stripes. His stripes are his progression. They go around his head eventually
Yep.
Whoa,
in the manga.
Sugoi.
Yeah. So that's part of his character growth is that as he gets stronger and grows as a character, his bars become complete.
I could never get into this, but I need to save my argument points for a little.
This
longer.
entire show, Soul Eater, the entire show is about constant character progression.
Yeah.
Each individual character, the entire episodic show, they go on missions, and each mission they level up personally or their partners level up, and it's nice. I like it. There's mystery to it. And they have this constant goal the entire time, looming in the background that they're trying to stop.
Mhm.
It also there's also mecha battles in the show. So yeah, it's got mech battles.
Well, there you go. That's where we're gonna put it for now. I noticed none of you have gotten me the screenshot for Cowboy Bebop. I'm just saying.
I'm getting it right now.
I'm
getting it right now.
I'm working on I'm multitasking,
Okay.
and that's
Tyler has a more
drinking,
important task. And we're
doing the podcast and
and
doing
we-
thumbnails.
There's a lot of multitasking. Bobo 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 Bobo.
You can throw that down there with Shimonetta.
Oh, thank God! I thought I was.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I thought I was gonna have to argue with you.
No.
No.
God
But it
bless.
has E in it.
I would
Yeah.
honestly put this as E.
It's too lulz random humor. It's just not for me, dog.
I
Yeah,
think it
same.
came. When did Bobo come out?
It came out when I was in middle school. I remember that. Or in
This-
5th grade at least.
This came out. This started in 2001. This is quite the. I think this is one of the most interesting shows to actually.
I
make
I remember
remember
watching
anime
this on
adaptation.
fucking 4Kids, or was it Toonami?
It was Toonami.
Yeah, I remember reading the first chapter in Shonen Jump when I got monthly subscriptions and laughing my ass off as a child. And then as an adult, I was like, oh, I remember Bo. I laughed at that a lot. I should try to read it again. I read the first chapter and went, oh,
There were no
this is
laughs
garbage.
to be had.
yeah. Literally, as you're reading it, it stops at one point and goes tofu and then keeps going.
Ha 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 ha. Yo, fuck that show. The best part about Bobo is his representation in crossover games. That's the only good thing about Bobo.
He is a very iconically funny character that should have just stayed that.
Samurai Champloo is a show that I watched disconnected episodes of on Adult Swim.
That show's fucking funky, dude.
Yeah.
I've never watched this show.
The art style, and most importantly, the opening by Nujabes. Rest in peace, Nujabes. That opening is so fucking flames, but the plot never seemed to go anywhere from what I was watching. Did anyone finish the show, and did they find the samurai that smells like sunflowers?
Never.
So you know this is also made by that Cowboy Bebop guy, right?
Damn, dude, that dude just cranking out good anime all
So
the time?
his thing is he likes doing episodic shows. I think
Yeah,
that,
I don't know if I'm as big into that as he is.
yeah.
Anyway, but it's cool. I put it at C for me, from what I've seen. Granted, like keep in mind, I haven't seen it all, but it has to be ranked in the list. If it's worth watching, let me know.
I think I agree. It's a good, solid C show that is very enjoyable. If you like it, you like it, but it's definitely not for everybody.
I'm gonna
Because
put
of
it
that
above Black
episodic
Clover
format.
for the culture.
Oh no! I would put it above
That's
Seven
how we
Deadly
lived.
Sins. It's
like
got
Rick and
this unique hip hop soundtrack. It has great animation, and like Joe said, it's like you either like that episodic format or not. But this is a good, well done
Bradley, but yeah.
I liked Mugen and the gambling girl quite a bit. She's cute. She's a cutie.
Well, I got you those thumbnails.
Cool. We'll do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
We also did not put Digimon on here.
Yeah, that's-
Digimon.
Don't worry. We don't need to put
I
Digimon
don't
on here.
think- It's
No, we
fine.
don't need to.
It's
we don't
really
need to put
fine.
it on.
How y'all doing?
I'm doing fine. Juices are kicked in. I ate my 2 bags of protein chips.
What's the deal with protein chips? Is that any good?
Oh
They're not
man,
bad.
yeah, they're great. I get 20 grams of protein for each bag.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they're kind of ridiculous, but they are $3 a bag.
They are. Yeah.
So that's a C. That'll go like over here after cells at work, of course.
Yeah.
Move. And then that puts us as Shimoneta. No, sorry, no, that's the other one. Well,
Whatever
we'll just
this
do it
is.
now, Bradley. This was your. It's a small world after all.
So this is called "It's You Guys' Fault I'm Not Popular," otherwise known as Watamote.
Oh, this is Watamote.
Yes, it is very interesting to me. The premise is that this is a girl going into high school. She's never really had friends, and mostly because she has stayed inside playing very erotic dating sims, and I think it represents very well a certain kind of person on the internet who tries to take what they might see in porn and apply it to real life.
Oh God.
Okay, this little girl.
Yes, this girl.
Oh,
And this, it would be very easy to make this girl. I think what most anime would do is they would take this very cute girl and have her be very cute, but make her fail so you can keep up the shtick of like, oh, she doesn't have any friends, but look how cute she is. The show is very good at making this girl actually disgusting, which I think is very good of them to do, actually. She has body odor. For example, one of the things she wants to do, she watches a lot of anime where she's like, oh, there's a lot of, like, this girl in this manga, her deal is she eats a lot and people think it's cute that she
not.
eats a lot.
In real life, I mean,
In
it's
real
fine.
life, she is eating lunch alone in class in the corner of the room, and everyone else is eating around at their friends' desks. And she tries to shovel food down her mouth so everyone will think she's cute like an anime. In reality, no one notices, and she gets so full that she throws up into her hand.
Oh, okay.
And so it is a very hard show to watch.
It's a deconstruction of anime in manga form.
It's really interesting.
All right, you've sold me. If you want to get this in AI, allow it.
So the word cringe gets thrown a lot now. This is a very difficult show to watch, but it's amazing to me to watch this girl get slapped in the face with real life and learn how she needs to change herself. And she actually does grow over the course of the show. And you, the viewer, goes through a lot of pain watching her get there. But it is fascinating to me. I was going to put it in B, maybe.
Okay.
Just because I haven't finished it, because this suffered, I was going to think mid B or something. It suffered the unfortunate fate that a lot of anime do, where it's a long-running manga that I think is still going, but it only ever got one season of the anime. But I really enjoyed it.
If anything, this is the front runner of ones I've been convinced to watch. Why is my aspect ratio changing all over the place? But yeah, I'm interested in checking this one out. Actually.
Yeah, I just always appreciated that they really committed to actually making her gross instead of making her a cute girl, but the show just says she's gross.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds good. Tyler, come on.
Boruto.
Come on, man.
Top 5, baby.
We don't have to spend too much time on this, surely.
Top 5, Boruto.
What the fuck is going on?
It's because your ads keep changing. That's why.
Jesus.
D is a very good spot for it. And it's sad because I've heard that the manga is way better. Is it manga or manga while we're here?
I go with manga because that's how it would be pronounced in Japanese, but...
Fine. I've heard the manga is way better than the anime. The anime isn't terrible, but it's not Naruto. And it doesn't need to be, but it's still just... every arc, I just feel like nothing is happening, kind of.
It seems to revel so much on, like, look how cool the past was, and look how neat all the pairings are. Like, everyone had interracial babies for the first time ever, and, like, look at how cute all the babies are now, and they're all growing up. It feels so, like, wanky. Like, it's just someone just, like, shooting ropes at a page and just going with it.
Like, it's lighthearted, and there's never really as many moments that are, like, as serious in like the original Naruto, and I would say it's actually a very good representation of people growing up and things becoming more soft as technology advances and people having easier like access to things. Like, I would say its theming is really good.
That almost seems, that seems pretty solid, actually.
I would actually bump it up to C based off of its theming and accuracy alone. But other than that, like,
is it as good as Black Clover, which is a weird sentence?
I would put it right there with it. Yeah, it is as good as Black Clover because, I mean, time traveling is canon now, and Jiraiya got to come back. So
all right, dudes. If you keep talking, I'm gonna move it to E. Really, Jiraiya? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jiraiya is the best character in the entire show.
Yeah, and he should stay dead.
Oh, no, he comes back via canon time travel, but Naruto doesn't get to hang out with him. It's Boruto and Sasuke.
You need to stop talking right now. Okay. Psyche K, Tyler, this is on you. I've heard great things about Psyche K, honestly.
I think this is like one of the only few slice of life animes that I really enjoy. It's like a satire of Mob Psycho, where this guy has just super power like psychic powers. And he hates them. He's like, if you think being a psychic is the best thing ever, well, let me tell you, you're completely wrong. Imagine never being able to not know the spoilers to the world's most popular TV show or movies franchise, because you always know what's going to happen. Because people are constantly always talking about it. And like, there's this segment where he like tries to go see a movie, and as he's walking in, all the plot gets revealed, and he's just like, he turns around and walks right back out.
That sucks, dude. Poor Psyche. I'm so invested in his life now.
His parents are like terrible, like adult children.
Oh.
And like they're constantly fighting and having these weird relationships. Like in the very first episode, like they're fighting, and then he like the wife turns his like steak into a shoe or something. I don't know. Reminds me of very much of like Rick and Morty parents. But it's full of a lot of great laugh moments. It's a fun little anime. It's on Netflix. It even has a revival Netflix series. It is so popular. You know what? I'm gonna throw this in the B category. This is a fun little, like right there with Soul Eater and Space Dandy. It's a lot of fun.
All right.
You can show it to a lot of people and just be like, you know what? This is a nice little chill background anime. These characters are fun. They're stupid. They're silly. They're goofy. The voice acting is great. And Psyche K has a cameo in Ass Class.
Yes, he does. Which is the best thing about Psyche K.
Well, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. This is a good idea.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that makes me happy. But do you
Like,
have fun?
I wasn't sure about it, but you know what? This is pretty fun.
It's wholesome. We're all having fun until I rip your throat out.
Yeah, we're having fun right now.
Are you having fun talking about cells at work? Whoever watched this?
Oh, fuck.
That was me. I've watched most of it. I think I'm like 1 or 2 episodes away from finishing it.
This is anime as fuck right here. Like this is
It is.
2019, 2018 anime.
I would put this at high C or low B tier. I'm thinking more. I'm thinking more low B, but like it does a good job of explaining the different parts of your body in like very cute anime fashion, and it just does a really good job of explaining like how diseases work and how cancer works and like how it affects your like whole system and how your system comes together to fight these diseases and how it works together to get your food and all that other stuff.
All right, stop giving me the runaround. Is mitochondria in this show?
No, because they're cells.
Oh,
That would be such a powerhouse in that show.
The cell mitochondria would be like the cell's like stomach or heart or something.
I know. You're right. You're right. But like,
Yeah,
they
it's
should
a
have
really
an episode where it's like they're inside the cells, and then there's like a whole little plot line happening
That'd be
inside
hilarious.
White Blood Cell Coon.
Organelle.
Anyway, Osmosis Jones did it better, and then Mario's Inside Story did it double better.
That's true. But it's a really cute anime just to like watch and just to have. Oh
I'm
man!
ready to get.
This is the big controversy.
So I've never seen. I've seen like Samurai X on TV, and I barely remember anything. My experience with Rurouni Kenshin is Jump Ultimate Stars and J Stars Victory Versus. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched through the whole show 3 times, and I also read the manga.
Okay, then you should have an opinion for sure.
Back in high school, I would have been like, "Oh man, this is top of S tier." That was back when I was a super weeb, where I'm like, "Oh yeah, a dude with a samurai sword could totally take on a tank."
I mean, maybe.
I do find this show very enjoyable.
Like, okay, let's separate art. I mean, if that's what you want to do, let's separate art from the artist because the artist here is a bit scummy. But like, how is the
artist
art?
is a fucking pedophile. Let's be real.
How is like the content here? Is it a good story?
So the strongest part of the show is coincidentally the focus of the show, which is what you want it to be, and the focus of the show is the main character. It's Kenshin, and Kenshin is amazing. He was like the most notorious killer in the revolution that happened before the plot of the show, and he renounces the ways of killing. He's such a nice, like if I was gay, I'd be gay for Kenshin.
Nice.
He is such a nice guy. What a man.
He's not like the other samurai.
He has his world famous reverse blade sword, so that way he doesn't kill when he fights. And a lot, you know what? Now that I think about it, he's a good example of a static character, kind of like
Luffy.
like I was talking with Willer about like Aang from Avatar, where he is the beacon of, he's kind of the beacon of wisdom and morality for the show. And it's not about how he's going to grow, it's about how the villains test him in his ways. A lot of the show is villains trying to get Kenshin to kill again, so that way they can get a good fight. And I think the show's very compelling that way.
Is Shishio a cool villain? The guy.
Shishio was fucking badass, dude. So
I hope so.
His sword has flame attacks, and that's because number one, he's fought so much that his sword has like this jagged edge that strikes sparks whenever it hits stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like coated in human fat. So anytime he swings his sword, like it lights on fire.
God damn.
It's pretty fucking metal. Now, that being said, Rurouni Kenshin's a little bit dated. Back in high school, I'd have been like, oh, it's fucking S. Right now, I'd probably put it like middle of C.
Wow. That's hard.
And no one can disagree. I would say Samurai Champloo is like a clear, like, probably aged better even if I haven't watched it. I just have this feeling that it has.
I don't know. I like the fucking opening sequence.
Nice.
Freckles, yeah.
But yeah, oh dude, Freckles, I love that shit. And I don't know. I love Kenshin. I want to kiss him.
We're gonna do one more
and I'm
then
straight, so
we're gonna do one more, then we'll take a pee break. It's about that time.
Okay.
Cowboy Bebop,
Cowboy Bebop,
This
it's
is
kind of legendary.
This is just like Samurai Champloo, but I've seen more episodes of Cowboy Bebop, but it's something I would catch on Adult Swim. this guy is too episodic for my taste, but like his character, like especially in Cowboy Bebop, these are such fleshed out, like grounded characters. I think the episode that I always think about with Cowboy Bebop is this one where they're in the ship and something they've left in their fridge for too long has mutated into a life form that's hunting them down. That's really good, dude. I'm into that. But then I also remember like these really moody episodes where he's fighting whatever the bad guy is here. Is this Miles?
Vicious.
Maybe? Vicious.
This is Vicious.
And I was like, I feel like I've missed the 3 plot episodes that I needed within the 20 episode run to make sense of this episode. So I never got that full story, But like, it's a cool show.
Cowboy Bebop. There's like Super iPad Wolf is a YouTuber that we all watch. He has a great video on it, and it kind of one of the points about this video that I really really like that makes Cowboy Bebop really interesting is that we're witnessing characters at the end of their character arc, not at the middle or the beginning of it.
That's really
like,
cool.
The characters have already decided like what their morals are going to be. They already decided like what their worldview is and everything. So we don't get to see the growth. It's almost frustrating, but then they go into why they think this way, and you're like, oh, that's heartbreaking. That because of how your life is, this is the person you've ended up being. And we kind of see the consequences and like how that accumulates in their life aboard the Bebop. With Ed being the only person that's kind of at the start of the character arc, and we really don't even see the full capacity of it.
Ed always felt like such a. Does Ed get development? Because from what I've seen, he
not
feels
really.
like such a wasted potential.
Ed is definitely supposed to be a
Ed's
foil,
girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Ed's definitely supposed to be a foil for the 3 main protagonists of the show. Of like, she's just so full of energy and youth, where the 3 of them are jaded adults that like have already gone through everything.
That feels like
in
such
life.
an important thing to add to their dynamic, though.
Yeah.
Joe, where are you putting this? Also, Tyler, you've seen Bebop, right? I think you said.
I do. It's like, oh man, the storytelling in it is so great. The world is great. It's the sci-fi western, like
the way that it looks is so fucking good too.
Oh yeah,
everything about it, like every ship, building, car, thing of technology that they use is so interesting just to look at. It's fantastic.
I've always thought the Bebop is the name of their ship. I've always liked the design of that. So where are you guys putting it? I'm not gonna fight it too much.
So here's the thing, Willer. The thing about so you know how you watch Django only every once in a while because it's your favorite movie.
Yes,
I'm the same way with Bebop. Like I literally do not watch it unless I absolutely need to in my life.
That is the most relatable feeling you could ever convey to me. Like I think that says volumes.
It honestly, out of everything, if someone told me it's like, hey, I want to get into anime, what's the best anime I could watch? I would probably just give them go watch this and then base your opinions entirely off of that. It's my top 5 anime to me.
I'm gonna go high A to S, honestly. It's an episodic show that doesn't feel episodic because the way these characters are at the end of their life cycles, like Joe said, you feel like you're not going to get any progression, so anything feels like progression, and it's not even in a desperate way. It's just like, wow, what's happening to these people is just like,
I'm going to co-sign the S primarily because the 30-year-old plus audience that might listen to this video will give us some street cred. We need all the street cred we can get when we put fucking ass class and S.
Yeah, for me, this is my top 5 anime. It's like this. To me, this is
this
the
seems
pinnacle
like high S. If Tyler agrees, then
I mean that intro alone, the music,
that intro fucking funky,
jazz and swing.
That's God. The other thing is that every episode is based off of a style of music. That's another thing too.
Oh.
Every episode has its own unique theme to it and music, and it's fantastic.
I think the takeaway here is that I definitely need to watch all 24 episodes.
I have the entire thing on Blu-ray.
I'll Crunchyroll it or whatever.
Yeah,
Netflix.
and I don't bust it out that often to watch. Like,
Yeah,
if
no,
The way I've
probably
always heard Cowboy Bebop described is if someone says they don't like anime, tell them to watch Cowboy Bebop.
I don't
yeah,
know if I agree with that. From what
That's
Yeah.
how I've always heard it described.
there's something in this where I would agree with, but maybe not Bebop.
I would say, like, for me, like, Cowboy Bebop is, if someone ever says like anime is for kids, like, you haven't seen the show.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is the show that will make you really think about your adult life and like where you are in
They
life.
say
And-
animes for kids. You show them Goblin Slayer so they know what's up.
Oh my god.
All right, quick break. Be right.
All I'm saying is Spike Spiegel's an underrated protagonist.
I don't think he
I
Spike
don't think he's
Spike
underrated
Spiegel.
at all. I think everyone loves Spike Spiegel.
Yo, I don't think
I-
I'm straight
I
anymore
agree.
because there's like a lot of these anime characters that I'm like, dude, they're
So you're just looking at Gyro, aren't you?
I've
He's
been looking
fucking
at
hot
Gyro
though,
for
right?
so long.
Am I wrong or am I wrong?
Favorite cover of Gyro. I love that cover art of Gyro.
Well,
Who's Gyro?
that's for much later. Running
Yeah.
with the
Gyro?
Wind.
Oh, is that what we're on?
That's what we're
Yeah.
on, baby.
I didn't even suggest this one.
But I know. Do you think I don't know who you are?
I didn't suggest Run with the Wind because it's very niche. I think I was the only one that watched
But that's
it all the way
the even
through.
best
Tyler?
reason to bring it up.
Tyler, you love it.
I do. Running in the with the Wind is a great little sports anime. It's not anything big. It's very realistic and very grounded and down to earth. It's about this senior in college and freshman in college. This is the senior's last year to run, and the freshman is like borderline Olympian athlete already coming in. And this is the only year that the senior would ever get to run because he's been trying to build a marathon team for 4 years while he's been in college. And he just now has enough people to do it. You watch this senior struggle as he lets everybody know that he's tricked them all into joining the track team and field team. And all of them overcome, like, he is just such a people person in every way that he convinces every single person to run with him. You see these people and their life choices that got them to where they are, how they overcome their struggles in life in these college, like, if you're in college or you went through college and or even like if you're at a point in even high school, you know, like we're trying to figure out this purpose of where you are. That's every single character in
No.
the show, and that's all they do is overcome this obstacle of who they are through running, and it's great.
As a throwback, Tyler, in our very first Roundabout Cast, you talked about this, which is pretty nice.
I
first
did.
one?
The
Yep.
very
Yeah.
first one. So
God
where would
damn.
you place this? I think you've given your past. You could check that out on this channel if you want like a solid like 15 to 20-minute talk on this topic.
I feel like it's a nice B, simply because it is a sports anime.
But where at?
And it's we can do low B because it's not going to be for everybody, but it is wholesome. It comes full circle, and I'm not going to lie, I don't know if it was the time that I watched this, but I think there was like 5 or 6 episodes I ended crying.
Oh, no, I hear it's really good. I have a friend who's really into it too, and
Because I remember, I think we watched the first episode with you, and I really liked how grounded of a concept it was for an anime.
this is
you-
on my to watch list. If that makes you feel any like, it's
It
definitely
does.
there.
If you've ever done long distance running, watch this show because
but I'm
the
still-
creators are able to capture those long distance running moments very well.
Tyler, I feel like you're so modest with your A's. Like,
I don't know.
either you're the nicest one among the 4 of us, or you're holding back some real ammo for later. I don't know.
I'm only at like maybe 1 or 2 BP.
Remember,
Probably
Hunter
one
hasn't
thing
shown up
about-
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't need to argue about that one.
Yes,
Is this
you do.
Code Geass?
this is Code.
Oh my
Geass.
fucking god! I got some shit to say about Code Geass.
Here's the thing, Bradley. You've once said so. Code Geass is the story about Lelouch taking revenge on the royal family for
Oh yes.
disgracing him and his sister, and he's a genius, and there's mech fighting, and he becomes a terrorist, yada yada. No need to get too long into it. I think it's a good plot setup, first of all, and I think they set up. I feel like it's been so long since I watched this, so you got to keep that in mind. I've watched season 1 and 2. I think is there a third one now, but whatever. I think they did a really good job in vindicating Lelouch and making me. I could see where his revenge was coming from. It didn't feel unfounded, and I don't know if that's a feeling that you remember as well, Bradley.
So yeah, I mean, I watched the show twice in high school and it once again last year to see if it kind of held up. And this is a show where like back in high school I'd have been like, oh, top of this. Mm-hmm. And around now I'd probably rate it somewhere in B tier. This is like, I think the core appeal, obviously it's very different premises and settings than Death Note. I think a lot of the core appeal is very similar though, where it's, you know, a boy in high school who is an abnormally smart boy who kind of gets a power that allows him to exercise his will upon the world, and he believes it is almost his right to use this ability to shape the world. Not this shit again. And
there it is.
I don't know. I just I feel like Death Note does it better. And again, it might be an injustice to say that just because they are different shows.
Just because the god does it better doesn't mean that the Peon King is that.
Yeah. I will say, I think this show gets distracted a little bit, where there are some episodes, like there's an entire fucking episode where like they're chasing down a fucking cat. Like the student council's cat gets lost and like, oh, we gotta get the cat back.
I don't remember. I feel like that could be used as an episode to build character. Like, let's put them in a simple situation to kind of take away from the terrorism that's going on, you know? Again, I haven't watched this in so long, so all I'm left with is feelings, which is something that happens with a lot of these older anime. I feel like, though, if I watched it, something inside me tells me that I would still like it. So I don't know.
I would definitely put it in the upper half of all anime, and I will say Lelouch is still fascinating to me. And you know what? I enjoyed the dub for this show just because Lelouch is voiced by Johnny Young Bosch.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Oh, wow.
Who has such a nice voice.
So I tried watching this show, and watching this show made me realize I really don't like mecha anime.
This is the mecha anime I do like for me.
Oh, for me, my mecha anime that I do like is the mecha anime that decides to tear down all other mecha animes. Like that was its whole purpose.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that one later. Bradley, what do you feel about like a high-ish B?
I could do that. You know what? Because one thing that was really fascinating to me about this is like the big bad, which I mean, this is kind of spoilery, but kind of not.
This man.
Like the big bad for this show, the King of Britannia. All of the, whenever we meet him, all of the events of the show, all this pain and struggle all the characters have gone through, this entire fucking war, I don't even think he's aware any of that's going on, because his mind is on this like almost divine task that he's trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I remember that.
So like everything that's going on Earth is like so not on his mind, and I thought that was amazing to me, where it's like all the stuff our characters have done, like this is on a whole new level.
I mean, Bradley, it's not like you're gonna kill all the 11s, right?
Right.
Just kidding. But what?
So I don't know. Like, you know what? I got a lot of enjoyment about this. I got a lot of enjoyment from the show over my life, and Code Mint is hilarious.
I'm at soup.
I'm at soup.
That's really funny, dude. Is this what you've been saving up your BP for? The Rising a Shield Hero?
No. That I'm gonna. Ew.
Gross.
That can go right there with Bobobo.
God damn. You know.
Oh no! I'm sorry. Put it one above B stars.
Okay.
The anime is pretty well solid. Once we get past the furry and the rape thing, it starts off on a really high note with that accusational stuff. I was like, all right, this is gonna get intense. But it turns out I'm pretty sure it's just a ploy to get attention, to get it off the ground.
That sounds so believable, actually.
The actual creator of this is a female, by the way. The manga author is a female. And I remember, the only reason why that's noteworthy is because I read an article. It's like, oh, like this is how a man would write this woman. And it's like actually a woman wrote that woman. So yeah. I'm caught up all the way on the manga. It gets really weak, but the anime is well rounded. It has a fun little crew of characters that nothing is ever really nice to them, and they have to eat their way through it the whole time. And the furry becomes an adult woman for all you people who like Raftalia. She's a pretty cool waifu, and she becomes of age throughout the show. So I think it's gay.
Y'all, I think we've done a really good job at the A tier and above. Like, this is a pretty exclusive list.
Yeah, because Willer, like, I think you're right. Traditionally, we've been a little too generous.
Yeah.
So I think we've been doing good this time.
I think, like, especially when you're arguing solo, like, you should be proud to get it in the B tier.
Hell yeah.
And anything above is like you've done a great job.
Yeah.
Which is time for me to argue solo with D Gray Man. D Gray Man is a Shonen Jump anime that was put in hiatus, and I don't think it's ever gonna get finished. It's really dark for its time, I feel like. It's like a early 2000s. It was in Jump Ultimate Stars, which is where really I got into manga and anime. This series, main character is Alan Walker, I want to say, who is... Oh, I'm going to get this all wrong. It's been so many years. I'm going to say exorcist, but I don't know if that's 100% like the title of it. But he's in this order for the church and for God, for exorcists. And they're fighting this guy in the back here. You can barely see him. It's a dude with a top hat. He's like called the Counts of something. He's like Satan. He is so evil, and he does horrifying things, and he creates monsters, and he infects people. And Alan and his crew's fighting him. His crew's pretty good. There was Linali. I remember her. She's cute. There is a vampire called Crowley. He's not really a vampire in the traditional sense. He sucks their power energy in the show, so he like acts as a vampire, essentially. It was pretty solid. I think it's a solid C. I'd say I like Toriko more. I'm gonna put it below. It's like, it feels in my mind in the same compartment as like what Blue Exorcist is in my mind. It's
Okay.
around that level.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight you on that. I don't know anything about it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ringing bell.
Ringing bell. Top 5.
I don't think Tyler was here when we watched Ringing Bell. Was he?
I was not.
We were watching JoJo's, right? I was like, hey, let's put Shuffle
We're
on
watching
Crunchyroll.
JoJo's.
Yeah.
Ringing Bell is a 40 to 49 minute anime movie about a little sheep. And it's just really good. We talked about it on the podcast. Like, Ringing Bell fucking slaps, dude.
This was a movie where, like, we watched the first 5 minutes of it. It's like, let's see how this ends. And we're like, whoa!
Like, whoa, we gotta roll this back.
We
We
jumped
gotta
to
roll
the
this back.
ending, and then we
everyone.
jumped back because we needed to know how it connected to that ending. What a
God
fun experience
damn.
that was.
Can we put this in A?
No.
Sure, I'm fine with putting it in
Okay,
A.
well, that overrides me.
Like,
Where were you going to put it in?
I was going to put it in high B.
I
Okay.
was fascinated by this where, I don't know, like, this wolf kills these sheep, and then this sheep tags along with the wolf and says, hey, I'm going to grow up, I'm going to become like you, I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to kill you. And the
Yeah,
wolf is like, do it.
I'm not going
I'm
to
a
be the
sucker.
prey.
This wolf is like, do it, bitch.
Yeah.
And then he teaches her, and Ringing Bell, or
Him.
Churirin, or whatever it's called, grows up to be like this insanely scary, like, Devilman
Ram.
Crybaby Ram. Speaking
Yeah.
of Devilman Crybaby, I don't think I put it on the list. God damn it.
Yeah.
It's on my to watch list.
I think it's like a story about how revenge can destroy someone. 'Cause
Yeah.
at the end, we see him become this monster.
Yeah, it's not good. And you're like, Ringing Bell, don't do this. But he does do this.
I was like, we're like, this is a fucking movie for babies, and then we skip to the end, and it's like, holy fuck, people shouldn't watch this movie. It's scary.
It was
That
really
movie-
funny.
That movie really paints like this kind of stuff that Japanese children watch as a child, compared to like us watching fucking Rapunzel at best.
Yeah.
At best, like it's
God
it's
damn.
really rough. It's
Yeah,
really good.
that's him. It was a shocker. It's one of my favorite memories of us because we were hanging out and we're like, let's just hit Shovel and see what happens. And we're like, "Oh, this is dumb." What? Oh,
Yeah, really good.
it's very old. That's
Yes,
the one.
it's like from the late 70s.
That's my one negative to it is that the opening does have this very Snow White Disney-esque where we have these long unnecessary. We have a long unnecessary like musical part that doesn't do anything but just fill time.
I don't think it's necessarily a negative. Like, the whimsical parts of it kind of hit for me. I don't know.
But like that
like-
suits me.
Usually, I would use the term bait and switch as a negative, but I think this was a very positive and amazing bait and switch for me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, you think you're watching a movie for babies, and it's like, oh, this is actually the most traumatic thing you've ever seen.
This movie is for babies.
It's hard. So it gets in our low A. Watch our Ringing Bell episode for more information.
I feel good with that.
All right, Danganronpa 3. So this is a Willer anime. Danganronpa is a video game series. It's like edgy Phoenix Wright, and it's actually like it has a lot of good ideas that I feel like it completely shatters with its writing and characters. Where like it's like too like wacky Japanese. You know, like everyone has to have an annoying gimmick. Like there's not enough depth for a lot of the characters, and it gets better in 2 and especially V3, which is the third game. However, they also had this season of the anime. So the way that Danganronpa works is as season 1, season 2 is a different cast than season 1. They're also trapped in a death game. However, you get a reveal about them near the end of the game, which is maybe the best writing in all of Danganronpa. Like Danganronpa 2 is really good. You get this anime then that is split in halves. Every episode alternates from side future and side despair. So side future is the cast of Danganronpa 1, the ones that survive, mixed with a bunch of new characters in a new death game that is supposed to like be the finale of that part of the storyline. Side Despair is a flashback to what happened to the Danganronpa 2 crew and what caused that twist near the end of Danganronpa 2. So I think that's a really cool setup, right? How you're alternating between future and past and despair or whatever. But there's just so much dumb shit in this, and all the negative sides of Danganronpa are still here. It still keeps the like there's some good mysteries in here. Clearly not as much as you would get from like a Phoenix Wright style game, since it's anime and like it's moving at a fast pace. But what's the worst offense that this does is it really kind of ruins that plot twist with the Danganronpa 2 crew. It really like diminishes it. And for that reason, I put it in like mid D. It's higher than the Phoenix Wright.
I think it has the one thing I know about it is I think it has notoriously good voice acting.
Possibly. It's hard to tell
for the English voices at least.
I've never heard. Okay, probably. Wait, not yet. What is Psychopaths?
Ooh, Psychopaths is this fun little cop thriller show.
Is it fun?
About yeah, it is. This is like her first job as an investigator, and she's paired up with a prisoner who is set to be investigator as well. So it's the classic, oh, who can hunt down murderers better than the murderer, type situation. It has a little bit of a psychological factor into it, and I haven't seen it in a really long time, but it's well rounded. I'll put it right there with Blue Exorcist. Good for its time. A slightly predictable plot, but with good characters and an intriguing enough story to keep you invested all the way till the end.
I'm gonna move Dragon Ball Z with the other Dragon Balls, so that'll come a little later. Hey, it's time, boys! Get the pitchforks!
Boy!
This is Dead Man Wonderland, right?
Dead Man Wonderland is an easy E tier for me.
E tier. Get it down there.
This is the anime that made me realize I hate anime.
I thought I was gonna have to argue about how bad this was.
No, it's terrible. I hate it.
Hate Dead Man Wonderland.
I hate Dead Man Wonderland.
Willer. B got its case trash, but it's not trashier than Dead Man Wonderland.
I don't know that. I just know that Dead Man Wonderland is worse than Boruto and Bleach.
Dead Man Wonderland tries to be smart, when it's
No.
really not.
Dead Man
But
Wonderland is just torture porn, and it's uninteresting with a good art style, mind you.
Yeah. I'm just. I hate that anime.
There's a scene in Dead Man Wonderland where Loli uses a guts style like giant sword that splits apart to slowly flail a guy who's just standing there. And that really is the moment where I was like, I fucking hate everything about this series.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of bloodbenders, but without any of the good Avatar stuff and all the torture porn in the world.
Man, like, so I was told the premise of the first episode of the show as if it was the premise for the entire show.
What was the premise you heard?
My friend was like, "Oh, dude, it's like death row inmates get sent to this prison, and society's kind of fucked up, so they have to compete in these little, games and races to keep their life."
Death games are always like its solid premise.
Yeah, and like I watched the first episode, I was like, "Holy shit, what a cool premise!" And then I watched like the next 2 episodes, and I was like, "I guess we're just not doing that premise anymore."
Yeah.
Well, they were still in prison, right? But it became more like bloodbenders fighting each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, exactly. They were still in prison, but instead of doing all that shit where like society comes out and sits in a stadium to watch these people compete for their life, it's like underground blood-bin battles.
Yeah. It's
Trash.
and then the twist is like, oh, this is the dumbest thing in the world because I figured it out by episode 3.
Yeah, this bitch. Anyways.
Yeah.
Death Note. Tyler, do you want to say anything about Dead Man Wonderland, or do you want to save some time?
Don't watch the show.
You mean?
I agree with Joe. Oh my god, are we doing Death Note right now?
Tyler, you were saying something?
No, go ahead, Bradley. Bradley's
Excellent. Death Note S tier.
S
Death
tier.
Note is S tier.
Highest.
I love the manga. I've read the manga 3 times. Hate the anime. Never been able to get through the anime.
Big
Really?
disagree. The anime is fantastic.
I love the manga.
I'm
hate the anime.
completely opposite. Completely opposite.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it,
Yeah,
which is
eat
what
it.
Bradley hates and I love.
Mm-hmm.
Death Note is the intellectual battle of a guy who gets a notebook that can kill anyone and 3 really good detectives throughout the series. And it's just great. I just think it's neat.
The show also does a really good job of portraying like the protagonist, but at the same time the villain of the show.
Yeah.
And so you have this really interesting back and forth within you. Like, I kind of would like to win, but there's a part where you're like, but Light really isn't a good person in this whole scenario. Yeah. Like, it's very, I don't want to say obvious,
you can tell there's
but
like bitterness and like darkness within him that like, sure, you're explaining your logic and it sounds safe, but I don't trust you, man.
Yeah.
It totally pulls a Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul protagonist kind of scenario, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. I really like a show that
Kikaku.
introduces a really good philosophical dilemma. And, the dilemma Death Note poses is, is Light right to do the thing that he's doing? Like, even if his plan makes the world a better place, are we still okay with how
and like
he did that?
That's kind of the terrifying part too, is that what he does lower the crime rate.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
It works.
Like, yeah. But it's the idea of
It's the
like
same way that like Walter White is getting money for his family, but like, is that okay?
yeah. It's
Even the second part, which is the criticized part, I still like the second arc.
I do too.
Death Note.
Like I think
it's a very slight drop in quality, not enough for me to like mar the show any for me personally.
I think the big thing is like the first half of that show is very much about Light coming to his peak.
Yeah.
And that's always more interesting to see the rise of power, whereas the second half is definitely his fall.
Yeah.
And it's not nearly as interesting as the rise. Like, there's not that much of a, because it's fairly easy to knock something down than it is to build something up.
And like reading Bakuman, you get the sense that they were like forced to extend it, but I think they extended it in an admirable way, and I think they're too hard on themselves there. I like it personally.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I was going to say, Bradley, I know you like reading the manga, but I don't like reading the manga because the manga is very boring to read. like it doesn't have any flair for its like the style that it's written compared to the anime that does add some flair to it. Like,
oh, dude, that's why I hated the anime, is because I felt like they just over dramatized everything.
I think it needs that to be. It's just a lot of conversation and like,
mm-hmm.
Especially like if you're going to appeal to a wide audience and be in Shonen Jump, and be a product of Shonen Jump, like you kind of need something to spice up all this mental conversation. Like right now, current Hunter x Hunter is so dry because it's pages and pages and pages of being in people's heads about their thought processes, and they die at the end of the chapter anyways. It's like,
yeah,
it's brutal.
It's just like I need something to like stimulate me a little bit. That's not just someone's head with a speech bubble around it.
You need a little ball tease. You know what I'm saying? Like a little,
I know Death Note's very dear to me because
it's a potential top 5, but we'll
dude, I would not argue with that.
We'll throw it a top 5 for now. It'll for me.
I think one thing that every like writer really wishes for their work is for it to have a very huge impact on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I read Death Note at a time when I was still kind of a impressionable young adult, and I think it had a big impact on my sense of justice and morality because of those ideas that it throws around. One of my favorite quotes in manga is where, it's kind of near the very end where Light's arguing with Nier, and Light's like, look at all the good I did for the world. How can you argue with me? Look at all this power I have. I can affect these changes on the world. And Nier's like, here's the thing. He's like, even if, God himself came down and he put his teachings right in front of me, I would still have to read through the whole thing and decide for myself whether I thought it was right or wrong. And I don't know, that quote always stuck with me. And it's always just kind of made me think twice about things. And,
yeah. I want to go more into it, but we got more things to talk about. But Death Note, real good.
It's a top 5 contender, which means it's definitely going to get some conversation later.
Death Note is the only anime where I would say like, hey, you should just watch this. It's anime, but I promise you it's going to be 100%
Death
worth
Note
your time.
And another one on this is my go-to first-time recommendation.
Fucking fire.
Even Eric likes it. Our mutual friend Eric, who is not into anime, he really liked Death Note.
Death Note's a good time.
Prison School. All right.
Prison School.
Let me fucking level with you. Prison School is the most Bradley, Joe, Tyler manga that Bradley, Joe, and Tyler haven't read, and it's fucking insane.
Have you told us about this before?
I don't think so.
In the long past, I've definitely brought it up, but like not in like a big review setting or anything like that.
This was the first image that came up when I typed in Prison School.
Yeah, show us. Post it in chat.
Okay, hold on.
Joe, that's funny.
Dude, it is totally the pose.
It is the pose. That's her hairstyle too.
Yes. Okay. Best girl. Okay.
What are we looking at here?
Oh, there's Ringing Bell. What a fucking monster. Prison School. 5 males end up in an all-girls school. They get caught very early for doing ecchi shit, and they get sent to prison school. Roll credits. Prison school is run by 3 very masochistic female students who are the disciplinary council of the school. So they're still in school, like everyone. It's a dormitory style school, so everyone has to sleep there and all that. But they stay in the prison. They can't go to class. They have to do their lectures and classes within the prison school until their sentence is up. So it is a prison break story within the school with so much humor and ecchi, like with extremely hot, like drawn. I'm not like it. Like I'm not like you guys when it comes to attractively drawn anime characters. These girls,
you guys.
You know what I'm talking about. These girls are fucking flames. And Bradley would definitely. Some of them would definitely appeal to Bradley's senses.
Hell yeah, baby.
There's a character called Andre who is just Bradley. I'm just saying.
What is up with this guy's face that looks like he's just a turkey for a head?
It's probably Gokuto. Anyway,
he's got a small face.
And that's Andre.
He's a small face guy.
Yeah, that's Andre. So yes, Hannah.
Oh damn.
My God, Hannah.
Fucking hot, dude.
This is a really it's genuinely it shoots up to be one of my favorite manga.
I'm about to shoot.
It's shooting up to S tier. It's just going. It starts its final arc, which I don't think was advertised as the final arc. I think it got canceled midway through this arc, which is telling. It starts this final arc, which is a school festival, and it starts with maybe the best scene and the best plot point in the entire series. It is fantastic. It involves Ouroboros, aka 69. It is everything the series has been building up to. But then it goes through the most boring finale of a school festival arc that absolutely killed the series. It canceled the series. It killed my interest so much that I haven't finished it yet.
What the fuck?
So this is a series that was climbing up to S tier and has a horrible final arc. So I'm gonna put it in the middle high B.
Damn.
All of you need to read this.
It's got a hot chick though.
It's non-negotiable. You guys will love this shit. It is so Alex. Because you guys are pervert fucks.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, Demon Slayer. I'm really bummed that we're doing this too early and I haven't gotten to read Demon Slayer.
Yeah. Just finished. I've seen small. I mean, when I say small, I mean literally someone's used them as part of their images for their video essays. I think iPatch Wolf used it once for an essay. I saw some and I immediately was blown away by its art style, and it was whoa, this is really cool looking.
Demon Slayer is the power of a good anime adaptation. Something I could never dream of, which is it has sold 45 million units in this year alone.
God
which is
damn.
smashing the One Piece record of 2011, 36. But that was a whole year record. This is 45 in half a year. That shit's gonna hit 60. This is a historic manga because the anime was so fucking fire, apparently. Now, Tyler, why don't you tell us about Demon Slayer? Well, you actually have already on the podcast. Where would you put it?
Oh, A tier. Absolutely.
I'll allow it.
It's cusping on the thresh of S tier.
I will allow this.
If we get more content for it out high up.
It just finished its manga. It literally finished 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I would put it above Summer Wars even.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
if the rest of the
believe you.
anime gets as honest of an adaptation as the first season did, this thing's gonna go nuts.
the thing with Demon Slayer is I've wanted to read the manga because I didn't want to get to the end of the anime and then wait. I wanted to get used to the style of the manga. I just haven't had the time. But it's a real bummer that I haven't gotten to watch it before. I hear the manga slows down a bit after the anime, but I think the anime is gonna make it up with its amazing art style and visuals. So cool.
It is literally The Worst Boys, and it's so much fun.
Cool. So it's us. So
Is Tyler coming in quiet for y'all?
He's a little
Tyler,
quiet.
you're fair.
Am I okay? I'll
I couldn't hear anything you said.
I'll amp it up a little bit.
There you go. That's
It's Willard's least favorite Pokemon.
Pokemon.
D tier.
What do y'all think?
D tier.
D.
I'm gonna throw it in
Fuck.
that high C.
Hi. Whoa. Hold on.
Oh,
Pokemon, Pokemon, the very first generation with Ash, Misty, and Brock.
Is horrible. That's the
Nurse
worst.
Joy.
It's so bad.
It's nostalgia, and it was just so groundbreaking to have that come to America. That the anime combined with the games coming into America simultaneously created an entire generation. And even starting with Sun and Moon, these art styles, they got stylistic with it. It's not terrible. I even watched I've seen a couple of the anime episodes to date. They got better. And there's an entire subsection of people that still thoroughly enjoy Pokemon,
If someone tells me they're a Pokemon fan, I already know for a fact they're talking about the games because I don't know anyone who's diehard Pokemon anime fan.
The Pokemon anime is such a failure on what could be one of the best anime, like one of the best fun
Yeah.
adventure for all ages. Instead, you've made an adventure that is only for young kids. Like it doesn't have that like Cartoon Network Disney appeal for me. Like it's just like it's so laughably breaking the content of the show with very generic plot lines, so much
it
filler.
It should be One Piece because like you have a destined gold already in place for your protagonist.
Yeah.
And it should be the path getting there, but it's so
Meandering, you know.
yes, like it just doesn't feel good.
What if Pokemon had a good trainer? Like what if Pokemon had a trainer who didn't have half of his team in their first stage and used the wrong type advantages and used fucking Thunderbolt armor on Swellow to defeat a ground type? Like,
Or use a water wheel to level up their Pikachu so much they could somehow break the resistance of rock types and beat Brock.
yeah, like there's just so much wasted potential. Like as a huge fan of the games, like it's one of my favorite franchises, I think the Pokemon anime is super disappointing. If Tyler says high C, I'm saying high D at best.
I was gonna say high D because there are some like here's the thing: there's hundreds of episodes.
Yeah.
Almost all of them are forgettable. I will say, once in a blue moon, they know how to write an amazing story.
And it seems like Sun and Moon and Twilight Wings, the two most recent, are really
Like Meowth's backstory and James's backstory are some genuinely amazing writing, and it's insane to me that the people who made those episodes also made the other 1,000+ episodes of the show. Also, as an adult, there are episodes that make me cry, like Bye Bye Butterfree. And there's this episode where Ash is trapped in this icy hole, freezing to death with all of his Pokemon. That gets me.
See, but that's the thing. Like, when you're watching Pokemon, you're watching for, like, the 15 good episodes and the 30 to... Not even. You're watching for, like, the 5 good episodes and however long a season is.
Yeah. I'm saying those few good episodes are the reason I'll put it in high D and not like E. Every once in a while, they get it right.
Cool. Because... I would put it lower than this, but because Tyler has a very strong C, I think Joe also agrees it's D.
Yeah.
I can go with D. Yeah.
This puts us in the Dragon Ball trio.
Oh fuck.
Oh god.
We're gonna start with Dragon Ball, I suppose.
Hey.
Yeah.
I thought I liked Dragon Ball a lot, but when I really think about it, what's good about Dragon Ball? It's a hard thing to answer. I think the tournament arcs are really good.
Yeah.
I think the Red Ribbon saga is good. It has like a nice paced adventure, but like all of this is amounting to a B to me personally.
I agree. Like, there's like when you watch Dragon Ball, I feel like you have a good time, but there's not enough stuff in Dragon Ball that makes you really remember Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I remember. But it has Emperor Tao Tao. That's pretty fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
He rides a log.
I think most of the points Dragon Ball is going to get for us here is from its influence on every shonen manga that ever came after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made One Piece become a thing because One Piece is the evolution of Dragon Ball, which is good. It's just like if someone was like, "I'm gonna watch Dragon Ball and see what it's all about," I'm like, you're not gonna be really. The thing about Dragon Ball is that it's referenced in so many other things. By the time you've watched Dragon Ball after watching all the anime, you've already seen Dragon Ball.
So I think it's a B.
I agree.
Yeah.
Tyler?
I will
Tyler's never
say,
seen Dragon Ball.
if we're
I
talking
have no horse in
specifically,
this race.
if we're talking about specifically Dragon Ball, I kind of like a lot of the Dragon Ball fights better than Dragon Ball Z because they're actually fighting and doing these innovative techniques instead of like bigger blasts each time.
Yeah.
Okay, so fight wise, it's better. I think story wise, Z is better. Which I mean, let's just throw it in there right now.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? Z has a lot more problems, but it has a lot more highs. You know, more
Like,
lows, more highs. It's more.
My biggest thing with Z is that comes after the Cell arc, where it kind of throws out a lot of the stuff it was building up to.
Yeah.
But like
because like you get some like the Frieza arc itself is legendary. Like it's the essentially the template roadmap now for every battle shown in manga, like big arc ever. And then Cell and like the whole Gohan thing is also really awesome. It's a really
the first 3/4 are too good, and I read it in the manga instead
Yeah.
of watching the anime, and the manga just flows, dude. Toriyama really was on some shit on those days.
Dude. Like
Also-
number one, Dragon Ball Z has Vegeta. Let's be real, Vegeta's a good
So
character.
it's gotta be
Can't-
higher. It's gotta be higher.
And man, like Dragon Ball Z, I think something about it connects with a lot of people. It really connected with me for a lot of my life. Anytime I'm doing an activity that is involved with bettering or improving myself, I think to Dragon Ball Z, I think it's just a very motivational thing.
It's bettering yourself is a big plot point to Z. I'd say it's high B.
I could say high B.
I'm gonna put
I
it,
would say high
I'm
B.
gonna put it below Billy Bat just for artistic reasons, but above
Yeah.
Code Geass for just
Yeah.
kind of solidness of a shonen
All right.
series. Tyler, do you have any Z stuff before we move on to Super, which is kind of the inverse of our conversations?
I feel like y'all have said it. It's a fair spot. Dragon Ball Z is entertaining.
Now, Tyler is the only one who's watched Super all the way. I think
Yeah.
there's so much.
Sadly.
I've watched very in-depth discussions on Super. I feel like I know enough to talk about it because there's just not enough depth. Like
I skipped Goku Black Arc.
you skipped the whole arc. No one here has watched the whole arc, and I think like it just doesn't matter. I think Super has like a 5% good episode rate, and I feel like that really makes people like it. People who are nostalgic for Z like Super for those like 5% episodes. I think it's like it can't be higher than a C.
The only really thing I watched of Super was someone took the first half of the Tournament of Power arc when they're gathering up contestants, and they made it into like a super movie.
Yeah, I watched
and I
some of
watched that, and I was like, "This is pretty good." Just as like a nice like 2.5 hour just to watch kind of thing.
I mean, it was the most C thing ever, but like it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
I think it was a very great revival of. If anybody tried to do a revival of Dragon Ball Z, I think this is a great adaptation of it.
I feel like Z set up this future for Gohan and the kids
Yeah.
to grow up and be something and take over the reins, but it's just not even Vegeta gets shit in Z or in
Yeah, he
Super.
does. Yeah, he
No.
does. Yes, he does.
He gets barely anything from very trusted sources that I've heard. Like he gets fights, but at the end of the day, he gets shafted, so Goku gets to finish the fight.
He does. He gets shafted a lot.
Isn't there
but
the thing where he's the one who kills Cell? Or sorry, Cell's not good enough to get anything. Sorry, Frieza.
No.
He kills Frieza, but then they rewind time so Goku could kill Frieza. It's
he's going to kill
ridiculous.
Frieza, but then Frieza like traps him into a monologue and blows up the planet. So they rewind time, and Goku just ass blasts Frieza before he can start it.
Sorry, dude, I can't let this go. Like,
And I just like, I don't know. I remember whenever they started coming out with it, I was like, I really enjoyed when the initial Battle of the Gods movie came out because I was like, you know what?
Dragon Ball's back.
It's something new, but it's not overboard. Whenever we got a whole new series, I was like, do we really need this?
So I will say, I really like the Battle of the Gods movie. Like I think like
So about Battle of the Gods, Super does that arc again, and it rushes through it and makes it super awkward. Like that's a
it's
huge
so
negative.
bad. And I tried to watch it. I was like, this is so dumb. Like the that movie is like a really good like just Dragon Ball movie because it encompasses everything that's great about Dragon Ball. You got some good jokes, some good little like funny goof moments that everyone in real life is trying to deal with these like Super Saiyan beings and like normal situations, and then you got a nice little fight at the end. Like it's just fun to watch.
And man,
Anywho, it gets. Sorry, go ahead, Bradley.
I was gonna say like even before Dragon Ball Super, when all you had was Dragon Ball Z, right? Goku gets up to Super Saiyan 3, and people would make fun of how many transformations that there are. And I would play devil's advocate. I'm like, no, you know what? Super Saiyan 3 is actually a really cool, awesome moment. It's all right to have that transformation. It's not too many. And now we have, like, what, 3 new transformations?
Dude, I'm thinking there's like 5. There's God, there's Super Saiyan God, which gets the blue hair. There is the sparkling version of that, which only Vegeta gets. There is
Rosé.
like 20. There's Rosé, which is like if you're a god and you go blue, you get Rosé. There's like times 20 Kamehameha version or Kaioken.
Don't forget Ultra Instinct.
You get Ultra Instinct as well. Like there's just
Yeah, I can't defend this anymore.
Yeah.
sorry, dude. And C's too hot. It's here for the last episode. Let's be honest. And Tyler, deep down inside, you agree.
Oh, Super has some great fighting moments in it, and it's just the tournament. Like, all Super needed to be was the first like battle tournament against Universe 7 and 8, and then the Tournament of Power.
Yeah,
that's all that show
that's
needed to be.
less than half the series or something. So.
Like, watch like Battle of the Gods, and then hit at like Universe 7 and 8 fight, and then the Tournament of Power. That's all it needed to be.
Okay, we talked about how much Pokemon sucks. However, you guys are gonna have to trust me here.
Dude, I do trust you. Everything I've ever seen about this manga is fucking fire.
This is the first time I'm really spending some BP in this entire video. Pokemon Special is JoJo's Pokemon. And I mean that in all the right ways. It is such a fun read. It takes the games, it adapts them into manga form. It even the dumb shit, it finds a way to adapt it. Like okay, in Ruby and Sapphire, Ruby is the male main character, and he's all about contest. He's all about the beauty of Pokemon. But May is the gym trainer, so she's going through the gym challenge. And they have a race, an 80-day race to who can meet their goal first. Is that not like a good plot for
Dude,
the region?
It is such an
Hoenn?
injustice that the Pokemon anime was not based on the Pokemon manga.
But then you find out that the reason why Ruby hates fighting is because as a kid, Sapphire got hurt by a Salamence, and she erased that from her mind. But that scarred Ruby so bad that he's like, I don't want to be in like brute Pokemon fights because this is what happened to my childhood friend. But then you go to Emerald. Emerald is this entirely different character. Emerald is in the Pokemon Battle Frontier, which is what a perfect way to introduce like what Emerald added to the series than the Battle Frontier. He doesn't own any Pokemon because he just rents Pokemon from the Battle Frontier. He has no bonds. But eventually he builds bonds with his Pokemon. Ooh. And at the end of Emerald, you get every single returning protagonist, which is like 3 per region. So it's like all the JoJo's meeting together to fight a gigantic water Kyogre that Archie summoned. Like, it's just the raddest shit. They fucking go places. Like, Gold is the coolest motherfucker in this. The thing about Pokemon Special that's really fun is how everyone has their unique battling style. So, like, in battles are really dynamic, and they have this system where, like, okay, it's 6v6, but the first one to knock out a Pokemon wins. So it's this really strategic, like, hectic switching of Pokemon so you don't get a knockout. And you're just switching your whole team in. But the trainers are in there fighting with the Pokemon. So Gold's strategy is he uses like a cue ball to like shoot Pokeballs and bounce them off weird angles so that the Pokemon come out of the Pokeballs at weird angles to attack the opponents. But then you have Crystal, who like fucking kickboxes all her Pokeballs, and her specialty is capturing Pokemon. So everyone has like Gold's specialty is breeding, which was introduced in Gen 2. So that's perfect for Gold. But Crystal's specialty is using the specific balls that were introduced in Gen 2, like all the weird apricot balls. Her specialty is using those to catch rare Pokemon. So her whole team is built around capturing a Pokemon with stuff like Mean Look and False Swipe and like status moves. This has to be a... Really, for me, it's S, but let me...
I'll give you S. Like, to me, this is what the peak of Pokemon could be, you know?
Hell yeah. Red and Blue is not a very good arc. It's the first arc, but then Yellow comes after, and from that point on, it's like just straight fire.
Like, I don't know. Like, I talked about the episodes of the Pokemon anime I really like, but at the end of the day, this is what the Pokemon anime could have been.
It's a great adaptation because from everything I've explained, they're not going 1-to-1, but they're setting up these plot lines that allow them to incorporate. Like, you know how there's an invisible Kecleon in Ruby and Sapphire that you need like invincible goggles to see. That's a little plot line. Or you need the goggles to get through the desert. That's a little plot line. You need the Sylph Scope to see the dead ghosts in fucking Lavender Town.
Yeah, it's like the true adaptation of the games.
Yeah, it's really good. Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone, A tier, let's go.
Stone.
A tier, let's go.
I guess it's A. I would agree.
I would put it in
You
A
guess
tier.
it's A.
I guess it's A.
I feel like
We've talked about Dr. Stone on the podcast, and I've talked about my negatives with it, which I might bring up. But there's also a lot of positives. You were saying, Joe?
I think the big thing about Dr. Stone is that it's getting to a point now where it's really relying on its fan service to keep people like enthralled in what's happening.
It's good fan service, though.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
It's at the bottom of that A category because, according to the manga, I really feel like this is about to start getting into like Walking Dead category.
Yeah,
So
Apocalypse.
accurate.
yeah,
And I am not a fan.
I am too.
The thing
Same.
with Dr. Stone is, even in modern Dr. Stone, there was that arc on the island, right? That was a decent arc, but the ending was so good, where Senku was facing off against that elder from that village.
God,
He got stabbed, didn't he?
That was fantastic. That might have been like the height of Dr. Stone.
He got like
aside from any moment where Chrome's on the screen.
Yeah.
yeah.
He got like stabbed, and then like everybody died twice.
The thing where like everyone held up their hands in a particular pattern to give Senku a very particular signal. I'm not spoiling anything necessarily.
Yeah.
But like, and the fact that like that little last tug of war at the end of that arc where the dude throws his hat, like that was so intense. And then Capitalism Boy shows up at the end to save the day.
Yeah, capitalism boy.
Dude.
I love that boy.
I had a friend bring up a point about Dr. Stone, which made me realize how refreshing a certain angle of it is. This, by the way, this is a friend who normally, like, anything manga or anime, he's like, nah, it's bad. Anime's bad. It all sucks. But he heard the premise of Dr. Stone. He binged all of the anime that there was in one day, and then the next day he caught up all the way on the manga. He fucking loved it. And I know one thing he really liked about it is that a lot of times in media, whether it's like a book, movie, manga, anime, whatever, whenever you have a super genius character who's smarter than everybody else, a lot of times they will either be an asshole or they'll be all nihilistic. Dr. Stone, though, Senku is like, it's about like the triumph of humanity.
Yeah.
And he's such a genuinely good guy. He is not nihilistic. He's like, no, we are going to fucking save everybody. And he's so excited about every tiny piece of technology. Like, here's what this does for mankind. I think it is just such a wholesome twist on the super genius character.
And the great thing about it is, like, I was really afraid when I started this anime or this manga that like we were going to fall into Rick Sanchez trap where, like you said,
definitely.
Because it's really easy to do that where you have the super smart guy and his whole plot arc is learning to love people. With Senku, who's right off the bat, is like, I need all these people to get anything done. I would not survive without any of these people. We are in this together, and that's a huge theme. Yeah.
However,
and it was
all this positivities rolls over into my negative with the series is that it's overly positive. It's very much like, and I've discussed this when we first talked about it on the podcast, but like it's very much like a Senku has all the tools to solve everything, and science can solve everything, and no one dies. By the way, no one fucking dies in this series, despite it's talking about war. Like the overly positivity, as good as it is, it brings it down to I think a fair like low A tier, which honestly for me might be B plus, but we'll leave it at low A.
Dude, it's gotta be A for me, dog.
Okay,
I think
that's fair.
But once again, like I like that it stays positive, and I think that's a really good theme to have in like an apocalyptic event of like
never-ending positivity takes away from positivity. I think you need to have the dips to show you how important positivity is. Like, I
agree, but I'm just glad that it's not like one. I'd rather have this right now than have another kind of like nihilistic, apocalyptic kind of.
Absolutely. Durarararara. I've only seen a couple episodes.
I read
So
a few
that's-
volumes.
So like I've only seen like I think the first half of the first season, and I really don't like this anime.
I didn't super jive with it. I want to give it
Yeah.
more chances though.
There's a lot going on to it. Like it starts out like, oh, it's about like these bunch of people that live in a community and like how like this kind of like mysterious organization works within it. And then it has this whole other like supernatural element to it that's just really kind of weirdly put into it, and it just did not vibe with me at all. I would put it like low C tier or D tier for me because it's just nothing I liked.
Have any of us finished it? Like,
I didn't finish it. I read a few volumes. I got some takes on it.
It didn't capture any of us enough to keep going, did it?
Like I will say, it has really nice style. Like I like the style it's got going on, but you know, it follows several different people, like Joe said, all in this different community. But if these different plot lines feel very disconnected to me, after a few volumes, I was like, is anything actually happening?
I'm sure it will, like at some point, but it might be just slow at it.
Yeah.
But
I think
pacing's a big thing
D,
for me,
personally.
Okay. My
However,
biggest issue on anything is pacing.
Before y'all downvote this, I'm sure if I personally finish Durara, I would like it more than a D tier. I can never crack it. It feels a bit impenetrable for me. It's the same as the anime Bakano. It's supposed to be really good. I just can't.
What's Bakuno?
Don't worry about it. It's not on the list.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we'll do Devilman Crybaby. Has anyone seen this?
I don't know anything about it.
I have not seen it.
Tyler?
You're muted, Tyler.
Or dead?
Oh, he gone.
He's gone.
This has been the Roundabout Cast.
His internet probably went out.
Oh, he's just out of the call?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's gone.
All right, we'll pause after this and take a break.
Yeah.
Devilman
He's back.
What?
Tyler, have you watched Devilman Crybaby?
No.
No. Okay. No.
Devilman Crybaby is a Netflix anime. It's only 10 episodes. It is a adaptation of Devilman, the like 60s mangas or whatever, or maybe it's 80s. I don't know. It's old. I really like the animation style of this show. A lot of people shit on it. It's like really simplistic. It's a story about... Oh my god. I don't like this show. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I think it's too nihilistic. I think it's too edgy. I think Rio is such an obvious bad guy that I don't even care about spoiling it. Like, why?
So it's the opposite of Dr. Stone.
Why are you Yeah, it's the opposite of Dr. Stone. It's really badass. It's got a lot of cool like shots. It's edgy. It's like if you like edgy shit, you're gonna like this. I'm not super hot on it.
Yeah.
I
will say-
It's better than Boruto.
Yeah, I will say I have watched the compilation of the old anime adaptation of this, and it's fucking hilarious.
Whatever. Just whatever.
It's so funny.
Okay, we're reaching a halfway point here after all this. Hey!
Woo!
Hey, look who it is. It's our good friend Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh, damn.
The anime that Willer and I have yet to talk about, even though I would really like to talk about it with Willer.
Well, here's our chance. Neon Genesis Evangelion is the deconstruction of mecha anime.
Most iconic anime opening of all time.
Yeah.
It's really good. I was surprised at how much I liked it. Like,
same.
From a base mecha anime standpoint, it's just great. Like, even early on, you have episodes where, like, the one where they're, like, learning how to dance in order to
Oh god, that
better.
was so good.
And, like, just the monstrosity that are the angels that they're fighting, like, from the basis, it's already, like, a good mecha anime. And then near the end, it just goes completely off the fucking rails in mostly a good way.
Yeah.
I really don't like... I need to remember this. There's 2 episodes near the end where they're after
25
the
and
story.
26.
I like 25 and 26. I do not like 24. I think 24 really killed my enjoyment of the show. Everything just happens too fast. All of a sudden, there's this antagonist who's Shinji's like boyfriend.
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
a weird.
he just shows up out of nowhere, and he's supposed to be like this bad. It's everything I dislike about super complex Japanese writing just kind of shows up at the end there.
I agree, but those last two episodes, though,
25 and 26 are fire. Those are super artistic.
Hey, Bradley, you have to understand. Like, I watched those episodes, and I was shaking because it made me have a mental collapse on my life.
Oh fuck!
Like, it hits so hard about what it means to be a human being and what it means to be yourself, like to the core, that it makes you. You're just like,
it's so uncomfortable. It is so It is so real and raw, and as far as I understand it, not a very happy ending actually, because like isn't. No, because like okay, Shinji realizes something about himself, and it doesn't fucking matter at all.
Right, it doesn't.
So kind of a sad feeling it left me with. I'm not super big into nihilism. The creator of Evangelion definitely is, but
like, I would constitute about a happy ending because the whole point of the show is about Shinji and him growing and kind of understanding what it means to be him.
Oh, Shinji's fantastic, and
I did a complete 180 on this show. First 6 episodes, like, this is just boring mecha anime.
No, I was into it already.
But like,
first 6.
I'm already the person that does not like mecha anime. Like, it's just something I don't enjoy.
It's S tier, right?
Oh yeah, like
there's no doubt about it.
I would put it in my top 5 along with Cowboy Bebop. But like,
move it to high S.
Yeah, it's just Bradley, I really would like for you to watch this show.
Get in the fucking robot.
Yeah. So there's an important note to make here.
No fly me to the moon.
No fly me to the moon.
Because we watched the Netflix version.
And the Netflix version does change some things. Most importantly, in that 24 episode, there's supposed to be more intimate relationship between Shinji and that guy.
Where? Like, he just shows up.
Yeah, it's just the way the dialogue's written, but I also think that it's not that big of a difference to really warrant the outcry people were making about it.
I think it's trash either way.
But there's a good point to that character, but I think it's just way too rushed and complicated at that moment.
Yeah, I'm not. Way too rushed for me. I didn't.
But like, Asuka is like a great character. Misato is a great character.
Asuka is uncomfortably good. Like,
yeah, like
I don't even want to really talk about it because like it just brings up really bad emotions. Like that show fucks with your mental very badly.
Like, you don't think it will, and then you sit down, and you're like, shit.
The voice acting, I really like the voice acting in the Netflix version. Like, in the final episodes, there's this portion where, like, Misato yells, "I don't want Shinji to see me like this," and it is the most raw voice acting I might have ever heard, and it was deeply disturbing. Hey, everyone should watch this. It's really good.
Yeah. We haven't watched End of Evangelion yet, which we probably should at one point.
We should.
Y'all haven't watched it in?
So,
End of Evangelion's a movie that is like an ending that's like the canon ending.
So,
I haven't watched that.
From what I know about this movie, is that it takes place during the events of 24 and 25, or 25 and 26.
How does that work? Whatever.
Because
we'll find out. We'll find out when we watch it.
Yeah.
S tier, easy.
Yeah, easy money.
easy. Let's do one more and then take a potential final break.
Yeah, I need to pee.
Overlord, Tyler.
Overlord, Tyler. You're muted again, by the way.
Or dead.
Sorry, since I'm trying to keep my mic up, but you can hear me clickety clacking and going at it, you know? Yeah. Overlord's an isekai. Back at you with your isekai boys. However, this one fully takes isekai and throws it to another level where this guy is he's sitting in his throne. His guild has put in the most hours out of anyone in the entire world. And he just becomes the overlord. He's ridiculously strong. He can kill anyone in this entire world if he wants, but he doesn't really want to do that. he wants to like understand what's going on with the world, how to rule it effectively, and he's just like dicking around essentially the entire time. And it's interesting because he's an undead, so he's not this human character. All the main characters are all monsters. The number one waifu in the show is a virgin succubus. And she's like really attracted to the undead character, but she's a virgin, so she can't ever do it with him because the undead are immune to the charm debuff. Fun facts. But it's 3 seasons long, it's gory, it's unforgiving, and it's gruesome, but in a very light-hearted way. It's like really odd. It's all right. I've enjoyed it. I've watched it a few times. Everyone I've watched it with has really enjoyed it, surprisingly. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna recommend it goes above Soul Eater right there.
Nice.
It's not too cringy of an isekai. Everybody knows he's overpowered. He knows himself is overpowered. And he has logical input to what he wants to do in this world where he can do anything.
Nice.
Isn't he also trapped in it too? That's another.
What?
He's like trapped in the isekai. He's trapped in the video game, basically.
Yeah, the game goes offline, and then it's like a VR game. It goes offline, and then he opens his eyes, and the timer's still going. And for some reason, he was the only one there still, and he inherits all the abilities of his avatar and their guild and all their super strong weapons or everything. And it's kind of cool because apparently in this game you could do guild castles and stuff. So everybody who helped build the guild has these lore to all these characters and NPCs that they created. And it's really interesting because even the characters have backstories. The backstories have backstories, I guess, because there's a character who created every NPC. So it's nice.
Good shit.
Oh, it also has some terrible CG animation, which is fun.
Well, that is a modern issue.
It is a modern issue.
Cool. Let's take a little bathroom break.